Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you watch us and come to this monthly meeting of six oscillators where guitars and synthesizers collide, the home of synth. For all you synth tourists out there, guitar players, synth players, synth guitarists out there that understand that these two instruments, they actually belong together. They were born almost at the same time. They just drifted apart from each other and lost siblings or relatives on a family that later on find each other in 2026 in Facebook or something like that. They finally reunited here in Six Oscillators. I'm gonna bring my co-host right away into the view because tonight I'm gonna need a lot of help. Okay, so first of all, please welcome our beloved Mr. Uncle Chrome.
Heyo.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
All right.
And Mr. Guitar Fool. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Are you right?
Yep.
Can
How's
you
that
hear
sound?
us?
I can hear you.
It sounds very well to me. Do we have anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Love Pink Floyd. Gotta love Pink Floyd.
They haven't jumped forward yet, but
Cool. So you guys, because I think you might be more. Can you check that we're actually coming out to the stream? Can you check YouTube, please? Yep. I'm gonna mute both of you so you get out.
It's good.
That's good. So we're all out.
Yeah, we have audio.
Does it sound right? Can you hear me?
That's gonna need a little more help from my friend.
Jeff is good.
Am I good?
Can you hear me? Eddie's good. And I'm good. I think we're all balanced. Sounds like everybody's balanced.
Yeah, because I don't know what
I'm never
happened.
Balanced.
There you go.
Join the club. I don't know what happened last episode, and we really apologize. If in the near future I finally find the time, I might be able to get the show and republish it with edited sound, because all the comments and all the apportations from Guitar Fool got really faint in volume to the point that they got almost wasted. And trust me, they were really interesting and really important. So trust me, it's on my to-do list. I just don't know when it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna try to remaster that show's audio and republish it. This time it's not gonna show in the live tab in YouTube. It's gonna show in videos this time, and it will be titled and explained in the box. But yeah, that's on my to-do list. So what is in stores today? Well, first of all, if you came to last show, and probably the previous show even, for the last 2 months I've been getting ready for this event in Cambridge, which turns out the county of Cambridge is the Cambridgeshire. It's Cambridgeshire. I just found out this today.
So you're saying the city is the county?
The county is, I would say the city is within the county called Cambridgeshire.
Yeah.
Cambridgeshire.
But is there other parts of Cambridgeshire that aren't Cambridge?
Yes, I don't know which ones. I don't know which ones.
Who cares?
I'm thinking of Jacksonville, Florida is the county.
Yes.
So Duval County is Jacksonville. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
No, in this case, I mean, there's tons of villages and towns. That's for sure. But obviously, that is kind of the county capital, apparently, just by deduction. I don't really know. Mm-hmm. The fuck do I know? I'm not even from this country. But it really, it's like, it's the first time it happened, because even when I landed here, I landed in Bristol, and that is in Devon. It's not even in Bristol County. but Demont is, I think, also belongs or is nearby Somerset, which is the country I am in, and a chunk of the expansion of Bristol City actually falls in Somerset. So when I search things around Somerset, references or adverts from Bristol pop up because it's right there in the border. Funky. It's too old to understand this country. So, this event called Synthesized, and let me get my sides together because I always get this wrong. So it happens in the Centre for Computer History of Cambridge.
Yes.
Cambridgeshire, UK. It happened last weekend. Ooh, who's drumming?
Me.
It's getting loud.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's
Sorry.
okay. No, I don't have a problem with your finger drumming. Just keep the beat.
Are you playing without me software, Jeff?
No. That was horrible.
Give me a steady beat, something groovy, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So it happened last weekend, which I think was 26 and 27. I'm trying to check my calendar. So that was 27 and 28, Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
In the Centre for Computer History of Cambridge. The museum itself is worth watching just by itself, at least to me, kind of tech head, which I've always been fascinated by computers and the magic of the computers do when they do it. Everybody knows that I hate computers and they hate me back. That's a fact. Yeah, I'm not gonna mention that to you today because apparently computers are hating Mr. Uncle Chrome back tonight as well.
I blame software ultimately. It's all driver.
It's always
the hardware.
Yeah.
The hardware rarely fails, and when it fails catastrophically. It's the software
Yes,
that has
Not
bizarre.
always. Not always.
You're
Sometimes
right, but yeah, you have to find something.
I've had too much hardware that acts like software. Well,
Yes.
with FPGAs.
Yep.
FPGAs especially, they can lose their mind, and you have to reflash them. And I think that's what's wrong with my Axon. Either that, or
Okay.
either that, or the Axon 100 just was never right to begin with.
Okay. I would never claim to know because I wasn't there, and as we find out already, that tech is being through 3 hands so far, because the AxOn 100, the 19-inch racks already went through 2 distributors, weren't they? And then
Yeah.
Terratec got everything is done, and that's when they made my 50, which is just half rack.
Yeah.
So they made it smaller and probably more efficient. God knows.
And a better interface.
And well, a
Much
worse interface.
better interface.
Worse interface. That's why they have to complement it with a PC editor, which is way better than the little screen on the rack unit.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So, talking about, let's get this because I got things to show. I was so stressed because I'm always in these events, backing everything up. Don't forget anything. Don't forget the synth rack this time, even when I didn't have to bring one. But I remember. I almost forget the guitar stands. There's that.
Ooh.
Yeah, so close. And the problem is this is Dawlish at least is just 1 hour drive. So worst case scenario, I could have just wasted 2 hours. The problem is Cambridge to my door, from my door to the museum, that's 3 hours and a half drive.
Yeah.
That's New York City
So-
to us.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anything I forgot, I would say, fuck it, I'm not going back. Really not.
After Philadelphia, there's no turning back. I hear
Yeah.
you.
Exactly. It's in New York or burst.
That's it.
So
You get on that turnpike, you're committed. So
by the
Have
time
to?
I got there, I realized, I noticed that I brought everything, although something got, I'm not gonna say broken because it was turning on, but mangled in transport. So one of the things I had planned to showcase did not happen. But it was 1 out of 5, so oh well. And it wasn't really the most impressive of them all. I managed to balance it with something else. So I'm gonna try and show. Oh, sorry. As I said, I was so stressed with all the building up and driving there and packing everything. And when I got into the show, people started coming in relatively soon on a Saturday, as in, I don't know, we opened doors at 10 a.m. By 11 a.m. there was already visitors and people interested, and so I started already doing my pitches, my demonstrations, and so on and so forth. So that plus the heat and the fact that the center itself, I don't believe it has aircon, but the room where the synth side of Synthesized was being held definitely didn't have any. The best they could do, I think they provided 5 or 6 medium-sized fans, electric fans, to blow some air around, which there's theories that they claim that they're help and theories that claim that no, because basically you make whatever room you are in, the minute it goes a specific threshold, when you just apply the fans, which are just moving air, you basically turn the whole room into a modern air fryer.
It's a convection oven.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not really conducive, although you feel the moving of the air, so you fool your brain into believing it's cooler than the actual temperature. But
You got
hey,
a sprinkler,
so
that would be one thing, you know. But
Yeah.
on top of all the tech and all the electronics,
yeah.
it would have been a show worth watching. That's for sure. So yeah, tons of sweating, but still tons of fun. A lot of people. I got a decent amount of people interested, including 3 youngsters. One of them I have a very fond memory because it was a teenage girl that her mother brought, and I'm not really, because yes, it was advertised that 6 oscillators, guitars and synthesizers would be there, but nobody there, I assume, knew us beforehand or even read all the blurb from the website, because nobody reads websites anymore.
I do.
So I'm not sure that woman was actually looking for me, but since they came and then find me, they went, oh, look, this is exactly what you were interested in. So this young woman was interested in. At the same time, she's learning piano right at the moment. She was looking into learn guitar and synthtar, and and I don't know why, but it got me some kind of protective spirit and said, okay, get a little better on your piano, because guitar is never in tune, as we all know. So you need a tune and harmony and chord reference to know if you're doing your guitar right or not, which is something I would advise anybody that starts on guitar or bass.
As long as the piano's in tune.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I mean. To get a real pitch reference, if it's you or is the guitar who is doing it, who is not playing the right way, the right
Or the
stuff.
piano.
Yeah, but
A real acoustic piano can be, and it usually is, out of tune.
yes,
No, it's
Even-
in tune. Everybody else has to tune to it.
around it. Yeah,
No, but
that's also
it's-
true.
Pianos do not stay in tune for very long.
No, not even to mention that you have to know in the first place if it's been tuned to equal temperament or to
Something else.
what's the other one?
Well, there's just
Isn't it?
intonation.
Just.
There's
Or to
there's
just
whole-
intonation,
yeah.
which means on a specific one single key
There's millions of them.
of options. Yeah, Pythagorean and so on and so forth. So I said, stick with the piano, give it a little more time to the piano first, then start with the guitar. And because synth at the moment, the tech is out there, it requires you to have at least a very basic fluidity on the guitar, and at least a beginning of precision on your execution. Because if you're not able to play the notes independently enough, if you start slurring your notes, or your muting technique is not, it's not even started, it's nowhere to be found, any system you buy that is affordable is gonna go crazy. Okay, so keep at the piano, don't leave piano. Get a little more comfortable with your technique on the guitar, and then think about going the MIDI way. And then I explained the things I had there to show, the other things I was aware that it's in the market for people who on a budget that want to try Synthtar, which we have shown in this show before. Even one of the other how would you call it, expositors, showcasers, demonstrators, one of the other people bringing synthesizers to Synthesized came with a device that I knew about, but at the time I didn't buy, possibly because of budget or because it was discontinued. It was a box, a very small box, looking almost like a DI box, a direct injunction box, which was actually a 1/4 inch in for any magnetic pickup or any voltage pickup, and then a MIDI out and a magnetic through. And that little box, gray with dark gray in the middle and two light gray rings, and the connectors in both ends. I can't remember the name. If I see it again, I can say that one, but I cannot remember who does it or did it. It's basically the same tech that is in the PP1, which I brought. It's just on a handheld unit that I think needs inside power, probably a 9-volt cell. So it very much looks and behaves like a DA box. It's just instead of changing the impedance of your guitar, it's changing your guitar from voltage to MIDI. And and that also I suggested to her, also because I assume she already owns a laptop and she wants to start. She never mentioned anything about playing with people or performing live. Plus, to my understanding, that is still several years away from her, because I think she was in around 12 to 15 years old, no more than 15. She didn't look like. So performing live was kind of a little far away. I also suggested the Fishman triple play, because that way she could go wireless straight to the laptop, and that would open anything. Plus also explain that, you have a digital piano, so if you have 5-pin in outputs, you can also use that to control your laptop. But if you get any guitar to MIDI device like the PP1 or the other box I showed her, you could use the piano itself as a MIDI module.
Yeah.
And obviously she never knew about that. Even the mother never knew about any of this. So just by that interaction alone, I felt the whole act of me presenting 6 oscillators in Synthesized made it totally justified. Because that's the whole point, to try and grow the community, to try to spread the word, and try to make the people that is not already aware that the tech is out there. You just need to not get acquainted with it and make use of it.
It's always special when you can reach out to a young person and hopefully inspire them. You never know, right? It's like, do they? It's kind of thing like, if they take music in school at all, that's a factor. Like if you're in a school bands or whatever, playing with other people, that's sort of what I did growing up. And so you get that idea of listening, hearing, you're doing music and you're hearing what else is going on around you. You're not just in your headphone space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also getting yelled at by conductors and whatnot, so that's good. Humbling, right? No, but yeah, that's wonderful. We had a young person as part of our jam group from the very beginning, and I haven't heard from him lately, but I think he's finishing up his last year of college finally, and he was all along he was interested in like controllers, building controllers, and the
okay.
yeah, like little MIDI controllers, and build hardware and sort of the engineering and all like that. So
as in Arduino and
exactly,
Raspberry Pi based.
Yep, all of that.
Yep.
And I haven't heard what he's been up to lately, but I'm sure this past year he's been working on some good things. But yep.
So
now, were there a lot of other students there? That because at a university, you'd hope that there'd be like people from at least the computing and music departments or whatever. But...
well, first of all, remember that is a university, it's a college, and it's one of the most prestigious colleges in the world. So not many youngsters, as I said, apart from this lady,
I hear it's
young
the
lady.
MIT of Cambridgeshire.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they call it?
What do you mean?
The MIT of Cambridgeshire. Isn't that what they call it? Cambridge?
What, Cambridge?
Yeah.
Cambridge College? Possibly. I don't know. I mean, since all my relation with the town is the people I know from the museum and obviously the dinner we have after the event on Saturday, the people that are related there, they're all heavily invested. Some of them are even volunteers that help at the museum on several ages, people that is already on lecturer level or age. One of them is kind of an acquaintance of me, Steve. He is basically, he's publishing books about all sorts of matters by now. Can't tell you the name because I'm very bad with names. As I'm gonna prove in a second. But also I made another friendship this time with another guy that I would assume he's in his 30s, possibly late 30s, and he brought to the dinner his latest advance in his pocket computer that obviously he throw a lot of tech jargon to me that went all over my head, but something like, oh, I managed to make a laptop on a pocket size, as in way more powerful and running actual DOS code more powerful than a phone, but on the size of a phone, very strong with all sorts of what everybody agreed was impressive for the size. Obviously, it went over my head. You will have to ask him what is actually that device is working at the moment. But that is the 3 times I've been to the event. That's kind of the spirit and the ambient that I get in contact when I do that event particularly, because I don't really know the city. I don't know anybody else. That's not my environment. So I could not tell. I assume that's the case because Cambridge, come on. Yeah. But I just cannot say for sure. Okay? So, as I said, I was so busy and so stressed and just trying to focus to get everything working because I didn't manage to get all the demos I had planned working on the first day. I did manage for the second day, except for the other one that would not work whatsoever, which I'm going to explain. I'll try to explain in a second. So basically what I'm going to show now, it's photographs that 3 of the people that did the event, that I did the event with, namely Mr. Robbie Poricelli from PSN, Mr. Peter, I always forget, Peter James Stephen, also from PSN, Mr. Pete Catley, which is a very, very nice person. He doesn't take part on the PSN program, but it's one of the usuals in the chat. And he has a badass collection of drum machines and drum synthesizers. And I'm gonna see if I can pull a couple of another participant, which I'm gonna call, because I always confuse this forgive me, Miss Charlotte Cox, a lady that has a handful of very, very nice vintage synthesizers, and she enjoys to bring it and share it with us, at least for one day. Because some of the people showing stuff would not be able to stay for both days. So some display, some showcases were only one day on Saturday, and some of them were only on Sunday.
Okay.
Because I'm coming from so far, obviously I need to stay both days, otherwise it's gonna kill me.
Make it worth
So, yeah. So I'm gonna start with the pictures from Mr. Puricelli from PSN. I have not clear allowance for this, so in my fire back, and I made my best to remove all the faces of everybody, so nobody gets. Although, as we were commenting before the show, yes, those pictures can be found in Facebook, but technically you only can find them if you're a friend of this particular person. And here I'm showing them to everybody and to our recording, so that might bring some tales to my side, which I'll own and take if they come my way. I know that I'm being naughty or lazy or whatever, but what can you do? So let's start with things that came around, like this. Oh, so I can get rid of one of the tabs. In my booth, I had a corner booth, so I was taking a table-sized chunk of wall and an empty corner because of the big pedal board, what I call the mothership, and the guitar stand. So I was taking a little bit more space than everybody else. But and I had a chance to have a chunk of wall to myself. That's where I put these little signs for everybody. And hello. Really? Okay, give me a second. Because now StreamYard is complaining. So take this out. Now here. So that's what I put. Okay, wrong window. Give me a second. I'm on it. Do I? Yes, here, I'm on it. That's the sign I put on the walls. I didn't manage. That's all I could do on the last week, because due to obligations, Andy could not make it to create a better sign than this. So I had to do this in OpenOffice in a week, having to learn OpenOffice at the same time. So that's the best I managed, so please don't judge me. Okay? I put the fonts I like the most from what it came from factory, and I make QR codes because handles are getting stupidly silly, and I could not learn how to format this thing better with handles. So I said, okay, QRs are just a square image, way easier to format. So let's get this out and stop screen. Good. And let's start with the picture show. These in fact were my neighbors, because if you look down in this picture down on your left, those Eurorack gray modules, those are mine.
Oh, those are the Roland ones, right?
Yeah, I managed to buy all. Well, once again, my brain is broken, so when I needed it 5 modules from the series, which I'm gonna show in a not the next picture, but one of the coming pictures. I'm gonna show it where is it, what did I want it for. But sadly, I'm a completionist, so once I started, I said, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna buy them all, except for a couple of modules that I bought twice because I needed 2 of them. So I got one of them. So now I said, okay, that one is done. I can move on. I'm thinking that maybe on a later date, because if I do so, then I will need a new case. and we know that what's the drawback on that means new case, new power supply, new everything. Although I already have the power supply, I think. So, but I might think about also getting the 2500 collection.
Those are great.
Because oh, thank you very much. I'll take that and I'll take a note on that, because my 2600 is nice, but it's a little lacking. At least it's not what I did expect it. Mostly because I don't know how the heck to use it, but there's that. But it still feels a little harsh to the tone. So everybody's telling me that the 2500 is the only ones that actually sound like ARP units.
Yeah.
So
they're clones.
I have that curious. Yeah, but technically all of them are clones, and trust me, those gray ones don't sound anything like a Roland synth.
But
okay.
the ARP 2500 ones, I mean, you look at them, and of course, yeah, it's all surface mount technology. But if you count the transistors and the op amps, they're the same. I mean, they basically clone the circuits. And that the team that did it for Behringer's in the UK.
That I've heard as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, this neighbor was obviously this is what you can see on the right underneath the speaker. That is mostly a Doppler unit, which I think he built from this person built from kits, which in itself is a feat. And they were testing and doing other stuffs that I had no time to, or I didn't bother to ask or learn. But because they were making noise loud enough, we had a little volume fight at one point, which we ended up amicably, as in, oh, can you put it down? Of course I can, don't worry, I will. But yeah, volume became an issue because I didn't brought any patches or not enough demo patches to demonstrate everything I wanted, so I was running through the presets. And we all know that in synths, presets are all over the place when it comes to volume. Some of them are whisper quiet, some of them will chop your head off. So I was basically the whole weekend up, down, cronk down, put out, turn around, don't bother, try not to bother the neighbors, and try to hear yourself and do the demo to the person in front of you. But the demo, the gear I got noticed is, you see this little core controller, the Nano. It's attached to a ribbon strip expression thing. I believe they had like 2 zones that they were testing, something like controlling splits or something similar. So I don't claim to know what was exactly the theory or what were they working on, but that was one of the things to showcase in the synth room of Synthesized.
That was probably one of the guys from the Synth DIY group.
Very likely.
They've been having it there having their get together at Cambridge every year for like 20 some years.
Okay.
So they always end up at the end going out and they raffle off a can of Spam. So
Spam is nice. At least the British one is nice, but it's better pan fried.
Yeah, nobody knows where it's made from though.
Yeah, don't ask. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still better known origin than whatever it's in chicken McNuggets.
Yeah.
So there is that. Another Euro racker here and DIY, I assume. This person, which is not anybody that you can see in the picture, I had to chop a little bit of the picture to take faces off and protect privacies. This person, I asked, would you be so kind to create a Euro rack patch so I can play something nice from the guitar? And he tried. He gave it a very fair try. He did something very good, better than I would be able to do. Although he was a little bit baffled with the behavior of the PP1 with the 2500, and we learned a couple of things. to the point that he brought this particular the thing where you can see waveforms.
Oscillator.
Yeah, oscilloscope.
Oscilloscope. Thank you very much. This particular oscilloscope to the system to actually measure what was happening, and that's how we learn. This is the person. This is Stan. Is the person that had that guitar converter that I showed the young lady, the little box, self-contained. And sadly, I had to edit this picture, but if you look down on the bottom right corner of the picture, you can see a little blue square, tiny blue square.
Yeah.
That is I'm gonna call it pocket guitar he brought to actually with that module or another one he was developing to trigger his own modular. So he appreciated when I tried to play that pocket guitar. I'm calling it pocket, although I should call it a toy because it was, first of all, ultra short scale.
Oh, was that little kiddie guitar? It was like a child's electric. That I showed a picture of you playing it. Is that what you're talking about?
Did you see that picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, a blue one.
Synthesized put up. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks almost like the size of a mandolin. Yeah, it's meant to be a toy. I think the frets were improperly done. He told me a horror story about the neck also improperly set. But it was loud enough to trigger his system. And at one point I said, okay, let me see how much is, because the triggering was a little uneven. Let's see how much is the guitar and how much is your system. So I brought one of my guitars, and suddenly the system started to sound almost like an Overheim by comparison. It's like it's the guitar. It's all the guitar's fault. So you plug a proper guitar in this system and this sounds the way it should. And if you look up above the oscilloscope, that huge belly is mine, and those guitars were mine, and that was one of my first demonstrations I did to one of the first people, because I believe that was day one. That must have been Saturday. Cool. Moving on. Oh, sorry. Let me first do these, because when testing the system, I managed to, although StreamYard does not take pictures in bulk, but I managed to create a big bunch of them. So let's get to the next one. Open. Remove. Totally. And this, once again, I'm protecting privacies here. These two people were in the picture, so I removed them. The people,
okay, that's right. That the guy you were just talking about, that was Shed Synth. He's the one that posted up all those pictures.
I come again.
See on the back of the oscilloscope in this picture.
Oh yes.
Shed Synth. He's the one that posted all the photos from the Synth DIY group that I gave you a couple.
You see, you have access to those. I don't, because we're not friends yet.
No, he put it up put a link up to his page of photos on the Synth DIY mailing list.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I'm not in that mailing list. That's why I never got that link. So I don't have access to his version of the pictures.
I could send it to you. It's public.
Please ask permission, but yes, I would like to have those as well. Apart from a bunch of Volkers with B, as in Behringer Volkers, and an NTS2, no, sorry, an NTS1. No, NTS2 is the effect unit, NTS2 is the synth unit, and NTS3 is the cow spy. That's the one I have. I'm all right. Is that right?
I hear they're good oscilloscopes.
Yeah, but that's NTS2. So NTS1 must be this one, the synth. Okay. It was one of the NTSs. Can't remember right now which one. But to me, what really called my attention was this Jupiter 6, a real vintage Jupiter 6 that looked so immaculate that it felt like it just came out of factory. And I asked the owner, how so, expecting that he said, oh yes, I spent a stupid amount of money refurbishing. Said, no, that's how I bought it. The guy bought it, put it in a closet and never used it till I bought it.
Wow.
So it's one of those closet classic mint conditions. It's like no scratch, no fingerprints, not even dust. You could not even see dust. Not even in the venting cracks that usually get dust. Mm-hmm. Not even that was dusty.
Wow.
As in, wow. Yeah. Sadly, I didn't make the time to listen to it, to know how it actually sounds. But that in this event, also talking with somebody else, I learned, which I didn't know, that Jupiter 6 came after Jupiter 8, which obviously doesn't make any sense, but that's typical for Roland. Yeah. Jupiter 8 is a bestseller, but if you make it cheaper with less voices, it would be a better seller. And apparently it was. That's why 6 came after 8, being 6 the number of voices against 8 the number of voices. Yep. Is that right?
Right.
Cool. Moving on.
And there was a 4 as well.
Yeah, but I believe 4 was already in the race towards polyphony, so 4 was before 8.
Probably, yeah.
At least that's why I understand. Cool. So let's take this one out. Bring a new one. And yep. Wait, no, I already did that one. Did I? Oh, because I tried this other edit. When I learned that I could do this, then I tried this. So that's why you can see the guitar. Right? Basically, I learned that I could also delete the faces or mask them. Cool. Next. This is gonna be a little too slow for my taste, but what can you do? And once again, this is the material that Puricelli took, I think the first day, possibly. Oh, we got a newcomer. Sorry. Come in. Hello.
Hey.
Hey guys, sorry, I was out shopping and I'm sweating like a pig because it's hot today. So.
Oh.
I'm glad you did it, no matter how late.
You mentioned. I heard on mobile you guys are talking about there's no AC in the venue. It's like with climate change, the UK's got to get on board and put AC in some fucking places because it's a little ridiculous, right? I mean, I know they're not used to AC, but times are changing. You got to change with the times.
Well, they don't even have central heat.
I know. It's like, what the hell?
Because we don't. Well, that's not true. Okay.
I'm sure hotels do, right?
Yeah. No. Obviously, any public place that has both AC and central heating.
Yeah.
British homes, when you're in a house, you do have central heating, but by the means of radiator, usually water, through a boiler. Mm-hmm. They have still boiling water radiator systems through the house. So you do have a central boiler for the whole house, and you regulate your rooms. More modern systems, at one point they decided that boilers, as in flame boilers, could even be mostly gas, as in natural gas. Houses are not big enough to handle the coal system because we don't.
Not anymore.
No, really, most of them don't even have a little room to store the coal. It's easier to handle fireplaces, and most British houses have fireplaces. You're muted.
Yeah, you have portable units that have heating and cooling. I mean, I bought a 10,000 BTU unit for my studio years ago when I didn't have any AC in my place.
Yeah.
and it was awesome. But I would have died without it, because between me and the gear, the room would get really hot.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell me about it, mister. So, yeah, there is central heating in UK, and in fact, it's quite traditional.
And it's even in British thermal units, right? So they should have the British AC.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
They just call them
What do you
thermal
mean?
units, Andy.
Exactly, yeah. It's like Chinese food is just food, right?
It's just food, that's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there is that, but
And they call them
if you go to
thermal units in China.
So, at one point in around 70 to the 80s, at the beginning of the 80s, they tried to start cutting down on burning stuff, because houses are also made out of wood here, so they became dangerous. So they started making those same radiator system, but then they would be electric. Problem is when
no danger there.
Yeah, still a lot of danger, but the big problem is power in UK is becoming almost more expensive than gas, right? And that's not, and we're still not fully EV loaded everywhere. Well, let's not get into that. That's a longer conversation. So yes, we do central heating, but cooling down, that's the real bummer, because traditionally these temperatures have never been normal or usual. To me, it's not fun that since 2013, when I landed in UK, that's the only thing I know. Ever since I came into this country, every single summer is hotter than the previous. It's like, what? This is Spanish weather. I don't even understand why you go on holidays down there. You have the same weather here, and you have money here. What? Okay. Moving on. But yeah, cooling down the houses, that's the big problem. So back to Synthesized, and finally, I do understand why he did this, but obviously I cannot blame him, because that's his job for his own sake. But Robbie only took pictures of half of my setup. A, because it was too big, and B, because probably he did not understand what he was looking at.
It's a protest. He's like, what is this shit?
No. I'm once again, I'm showing his pictures without his permission. So if any blame come my way, I'll accept it.
Yeah, but it's his pictures of your stuff. You could see.
And it's on social media, so it's not private. It's on Facebook.
Yep. As I said, that I'm banking on that.
For educational purposes only.
Yeah, it's fair use. So these two or three pictures are from my setup. The rest of the pictures I'm going to be showing is from everybody else's setup. So half. So in the previous picture of my neighbor, the DIYer, you saw a chunk of my small case where I have the rest of my System 100 Behringer copy modules. System 100 copy by Behringer. Here on the bottom right corner, you can see the other corner of my case. Sadly, on neither of those pictures is showing the Behringer PP1, which is the voltage to MIDI converter, the one we had in the show and we've explained a couple of times already. That MIDI came down here to the key step through that red MIDI cable.
You didn't snap any shots with your phone while you were there?
That's what I apologized at the beginning of the night.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even thought about it. I was so busy in it. Yes. It's all on me. I did it. That was my fault. Shame on me. Because once again, I don't do pictures. It doesn't come out of me. It's nothing that comes natural to me to do pictures of anything. But this I should have done, and I didn't do so. Fault is on me. As I said, I took the PP1 MIDI out, the 5-pin in, into the key step so I could sequence or arpeggiate the information from the PP1 from the guitar, and with that feed the 2600 copy by Behringer. The 100 series modules on the top are doing nothing, because I was expecting somebody to say, oh, can I have a go and make a big batch, I brought all my patch cables. I brought everything, hoping that somebody with better knowledge and better taste than me would create an awesome synth pad so I could play bass through it. We managed to pull, they managed to pull, a couple of people had goes at it. And out of 6 people that had a try to the 2600, I was shockingly amazed or surprised that 4 of them had no idea how does a 2600 work. All of them, first thing they tried to do was reach for a patch cable. And I went like, no, but this is a 26. It's normalized. It's internally normalized. And then I got the glare of, huh? Yep. What? No, I need a patch cable because I need to connect and connect. No, it's already connected. This goes here. Just read the little boxes in white print on blue. This goes here, connects to here. So, funny enough, I spent a third of my time explaining the 2600 to the people coming to the stand instead of explaining the rest of the guitar stuff. But hey, what can you do? So, but here you can see you see all the tabletop setup. The thing that did not perform, that would not behave, is this Akai S2000 sampler that I was banking on use from this black, which is the new kid in town, is a 30-inch baritone guitar that I got drop tuned to G1. Yeah, because I have plans to down tune this guitar all the way down to E1, as in 1 octave below guitar, standard
like
6-string, like a bass, but tune like a bass instead of tune like a baritone. Yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of the major third, and I'm gonna do everything in fourths. So it's gonna be E to F or F sharp, E to F sharp, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm already, these are the headstock you can see here. That's the multi-scale, which I already managed to drop down to drop E0. So this is already in E0, so now I need a guitar on E1 to be an octave higher. So the sampler would not play ball because for some reason it did boot, but it could not read the pen drive from the GoTech driver to load the system disk, which is designed by... there's a guy here in UK that is making a name for himself. He's also related to PSM, who's doing a GoTech drive exclusively designed for specific synthesizers and units that used to use floppies. So basically they're plug and play. You just buy it from him. He sends you the kit, the full kit with all the parts, all the instructions step by step. You just plug it in. It's really, really easy. The prices are, I would say, very, very cheap for the job he does. And I already used 3 of his units. I never ever had a problem with these units. What I think is that probably in transport, because this is the same case I brought to Dulwich, so in one of those movements, something is inside the S2000 disconnected the drive, the drive from the motherboard, from the CPU.
Yeah.
So the drive would load the floppy and the unit would boot, but they would not talk to each other, so I could not make a sound.
What's the little box on the top?
So the box on the top, that's the Korg 05W/R, the half rack multi-timbral Rompler device that they did in the probably mid-90s, I think. I'm not sure about the date, so don't quote me.
Yeah, it's a little bit later 90s, yeah, because I think
01W
is 91, I think.
Okay.
And so it's around there, yeah.
Cool. So the black line underneath, that's just a power protection. It's not even a stabilizer with lights, kind of a Furman device. The one underneath is a Lexicon M200, I believe, the one that is dual engine, which it was wired, but I never even had the time to learn how to use it, so that was that. The next black stripe, that's the G50 from Yamaha, which is their counter offer for the GI20 from Roland, which was half a unit, but it was his 1 unit. I have not managed to fine tweak this one, so sooner than later we're gonna start looking into this unit to see what can he do and how can he do it actually. But for starts, the one thing he cannot do is he cannot understand a reverse GK pickup, so I cannot use my guitar with it. But it comes at a factory with a 1/4-inch input, so the same technology of the PP1, it was already in this unit, which I believe is also late 90s. And the triggering and tracking of that 1/4-inch is as good, if not better, than the PP1. For anybody who comes new, if anybody comes new, every time I say PP1, I mean Behringer Pitch Perfect 1, which is a voltage to MIDI converter device for any voltage source like microphones or guitars.
Sorry if I make you repeat something. Was anyone else at the show with any kind of synth-tar stuff?
The closest thing, we already showed the picture. There was a DIYer, a Eurorack DIYer, that had a handheld, a small gray box, which I cannot remember the manufacturer. I knew that when I was investigating on how to get into Eurorack or how to make guitar MIDI portable, I looked into that unit, and probably I didn't buy it because I couldn't find either the right price or units available, because I think it's discontinued.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit like it's a plastic box, but it's very well built. Looks a little bit like a DI box, and you get the guitar in one end, and you get 5-pin in out and guitar through at the other end, and kind of does everything automatically, and works on battery. So yeah, that's the G50. So we'll look into that on a future show, and underneath is just the mixer. Very, very faint on the bottom left corner, you can see that red unit. That is the mothership, the motherboard. Although that is the half that is the GT6B. I used the GT6B in conjunction with the 55, to get actual amplifier and effects modeling for bass, but also because this unit came with two algorithms that I have never seen on any other unit, to the point that they're not even in GT10B. The next unit that Boss released didn't have those algorithms. And apart from a synth algorithm, a custom synth algorithm, analog-ish, which is, it's not nice, and that's why I love it, because it's really grainy, and although the tracking is good enough, but it's kind of grainy. It's like, let's say, if we're working now with 16-bit reverbs, think about an 8-bit or a 10-bit reverb. That kind of grainy. It's not bad. It doesn't sound bad, but you can feel it's not very detailed.
Just lo-fi.
Which it's lo-fi, exactly. Which for the purpose I want to use it is perfect. So on the left of that red unit is what GR55 would be. And you all know what we use GR55. So I had the multi-scale through the PP1 triggering the 2600. I had the baritone with the GT100, which also I don't have any pictures to show, because GT100 from Boss is a floor unit that also came with a custom synth engine. But I think we've showcased it in this show a couple of times before, many months ago. On firmware version 2.0, they added a whole section called Guitar to MIDI, which is basically the PP1 technology, the voltage to MIDI conversion, but in software, because they didn't modify any of the hardware of the pedal board. It was a floor unit, one of those multi-effects with modeling, kind of the pod floor pod, sorry. And that algorithm not only was very unique when released, because it was before Boss released the SY line of pedals, the new quarter-inch polyphonic synthesizers. Obviously, this algorithm is monophonic because they could not, the hardware probably wouldn't allow for the algorithms or calculation power that required to do it polyphonically. But what they added that is a kind of bonkers is they added multi-timbrality to the guitar out of a quarter-inch. So out of the quarter-inch single voltage flow, one single signal, they split by pitch the whole fretboard of the guitar and strings in up to 6 MIDI channels. It was crazy, and that's why I brought the 05, because I was actually triggering 6 different instruments, 6 different synth voices from an analog electric guitar, and everybody was like, I was intending, was freaking out basically. It's like, what? How? The heck? Because obviously when you expect out of a quarter-inch, oh look, we managed to make the guitar sound like a synth. You expect all strings same sound. I was having, what did I have? I have a cough, something that sounded like somebody coughing on one split of the fretboard. Then I had a mandolin. Then I have a brass. Then I have an analog synth, and on the bottom I have a taiko drum. So I was be able to play different instruments just by playing different parts of the fretboard. It is goofy because, and it wasn't finished obviously, because first of all they made a lower limit in A flat 1. Yeah, A flat 1, because 7th string is B1. So, sorry. Yeah, exactly. So basically, instead of doing it or restricted to 6 strings, they made 7-string range plus a step and a half lower than 7th string, but no note below that. And that's why I brought the baritone on G, because basically G and G sharp on the fretboard would not play. Just to be able to explain with an example that those notes were taken off by filtering, by the means of filtering, and not mapping it into the MIDI implementation. But also because it's note split, and I think that they put the splits in B or B flat. Obviously on a guitar, no strings is tuned in B flat, and the B flats on a guitar are all with places. And because of the G1 tuning of the guitar, the first channel, the channel 1, which technically is the range of should be E, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, should be E6 to E4. That should be channel 1, or at least to B4. B4 the number, not before anything. Most of that sound basically disappear. I could only use 5 out of the 6 channels because my guitar was tuned so low.
But is it too hard to remember the fret zones since it's not,
Wait a minute,
in the moment?
But just coming out of a quarter-inch, didn't they just do note splits? It wasn't. They couldn't. How they do string splits with that?
By note split.
Yeah,
but remember
strictly note split. Yeah.
But a guitar has redundant notes, so right. You have the same notes triggering the same channel in different strings.
Right.
So what it looked like or felt like on the playing side is, oh, I have fret splits. But the problem is, it's not one single fret, because each string has the split on a different position.
Right.
You know, the escalate. It's in the same note, it's in the same pitch, but it's on a different fret position.
Yeah, it's still very useful, though.
But unless you always use the same sound set, how do you memorize all the nuances?
What do you mean?
Well, because it's a fairly complicated layout with something you're not looking at, and it's not very tactile because it's strings and frets and stuff. It's not buttons and keys and stuff. So, how do you remember? It's not just like notes. You're remembering actual sounds. So,
kind of, because first of all, obviously, if you actually want to make purposeful music, you obviously need to put the right sounds on the right key splits or note splits, right? So when they pile up in the fretboard, you have something resemblant or of a guitar technique that would make a sound that is pleasant or useful for the song.
But like, unless you're some kind of savant, how are you going to remember so many disparate sounds unless you have one custom set that you memorize, right?
Because that's one. That's the first way. Make one and stick to it until you know it by heart.
Yeah.
But there's not that many. Even less in this tuned down guitar, I only had 5 channels. So I was handling only 5 sounds. And some of them, they were so far apart that I could not even play them vertically. You had to go horizontal to a very specific area.
So you can't accidentally hit them. Okay.
I mean, it's not impossible, it's just extremely unlikely.
Okay.
So, but once again, the first change you need to do is mentally that you cannot play that particular setup like a guitar. You need to actually play a synth, a keyboard, on strings. And I'm totally aware of how brain-breaking that concept is.
Can it also convert amplitude to velocity equivalent, so you can actually have layered sounds based on how hard you hit it?
No. Well, the unit, the GT100, cannot. But there's no limit what you can.
Yeah.
Once again, this unit, the 05, is 8 parts multi-timbral. I was using only 5. If I had the time and the will, I could have layered remapping through MIDI in the 05, not the 100, to play out of the same MIDI note 2 sounds. That is totally possible.
Is there a nuance where you can have one strength, one sound, medium strength, both sounds, and then harder strength, just the one other sound? Or can
Once
you not
again,
do that?
the 100 doesn't do velocity split, but whatever sound module to attach to it could do it. If I attach the 100 to my my 2080, the sky's the limit. And if I attach it to this MU100 from Yamaha, 32 parts multi-timbral, it's once again, it's what do I want to do, not what can I do.
So with the right setup, you could do velocity switching, mimicking, basically. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but once again, it's all on the destination. It's not from origin. The origin.
No, for sure. But I mean, the fact that it will read that and make it work is pretty cool. So
once again, it's not reading; it's remapping. GT100 does not understand velocity splits. Does not understand.
No, it's amplitude. It's doing amplitude to.
No,
velocity.
It only understands velocity. So if you have a multi-timbral synth engine that can read velocity and split them internally, then you can fake it. But 100 does not divide velocities into channels. Do I make any sense?
No, I get it. Because I'm just thinking, like, the classic thing is like an envelope follower. The harder you strum it, the more twangy it gets. So you have that dynamic there. So.
If not, once again, not from 100. 100 only sends velocity. If you have a MIDI, how you call it, a translator, a converter, something that can transfer or split velocity into other things, or split it into channels like the Motus, like the CMEs, like all those MIDI interfaces that also are MIDI transformers, you could fake it with the right post-unit gear.
Or like the Ravish sitar pedal does some magic like that, because it's pretty dynamic.
The Ravish sitar doesn't do that much magic, and that's when we get to the GR55. Because the GR55, the 55 and any GR based on GK technology, due to the hexaphonic divided, you can actually have a sitar and you can actually have a 12 string, because you have pitch doubling per string and definable with a definable distance per string. Because many of the 12 string pedals, all they do is to take every string and ramp up 1 octave. But that's wrong. A 12 string guitar.
But I thought it was actually modeling sympathetic strings. That's doing a lot of stuff, isn't it? The Ravish sitar I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it's basically pitching.
I mean, it's David Cockerell. That guy's a genius, right? So
yes. But the genius is not what he did in that particular one, or the ones that came afterwards. Is how they did it and at what price they did it. That is the genius. Because Roland had been doing exactly the same since, I don't know, GR700 or GR500 almost. No, not on the 5, on the from the 7 on. Right, but they were charging an arm and a leg for the systems, weren't they? Guitar Full. I mean, any GR from the 80s or the 90s, you have to ask for a mortgage.
Yeah.
The fact that Electro-Harmonix brought something reasonable, believable through a guitar amplifier for under $200, that was the genius. It's like, wow, how did you manage? Because he's not using sampling. He's barely using synthesis. He's just pitch and detuning. He's playing with pitch basically. It's a very, I understand, it's a very complex system of delay lines.
Oh, so it's kind of like a Rainbow Machine, but more tuned.
Yeah, without the wackiness of the Rainbow.
Because Rainbow Machine is fucking wacky.
It's wacky because it's meant to do it, and I want one.
Oh, it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah,
yes.
But I cannot pay for one. So let's see if we can move on from here while we also do comments. So yeah, sadly I don't have a picture of the whole floor setup. Oh, in fact, wait, I misspoke. Sorry, no, I didn't misspoke about the floor setup, but I didn't remember Puricelli did this picture. So this is the other half of the table setup. So that black cable going into the red unit, that's the guitar. In particular, the 5-string multi-scale. Red MIDI out to the key step to the 2500. And that's what I was playing. And I brought the nunchuck because I don't know where else to put it and I don't want to lose it.
Oh, it's fun. I like the nunchuck.
It's amazing. I just didn't have a chance to use it.
Yeah, no, it's really a lot of fun.
That's why I bought it, because I couldn't believe somebody did such a wonderful, amazing shit.
Well, same person that did all that cool work on the S2400, right? All that software magic is done by the same person, Mickey Delp.
Is it?
Yeah, Delptronics.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, some classics that people brought, obviously. How am I gonna do it? Because I got a big bunch of these ones, and a ton of them that are worth showing. But I don't know if I would be better curating them. But I don't know what criteria I would. So let me just go through some of them.
How many total setups were there?
Counting that in the room where the synths were, at least 3 people stayed only Saturday, and a new 3 people came from Sunday. Possibly 10 or 12 people.
Okay.
Altogether. So I'm trying to see.
Yeah, it seemed pretty small by the pictures I saw. Like it's just a single room, right?
Oh, in fact, because Pioricelli didn't took any. Well, this in fact is open. Is Mrs. Cole's setup. That was nice. Oh, damn it! I didn't blur those faces. Sorry. Take it out. Take it out. Take it out.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Come on. Nobody cares about that.
No.
Well, I don't.
Look, with Palantir, no one's safe anymore. Everyone's being scanned and databased and around the world. So,
oh my god! I just learned about that and who is funding that.
I drive by it all the time in Palo Alto. The headquarters is in Palo Alto.
Crazy shit. Okay, let's move to another one. And this to me was impressive. And the guy knows what he has.
Themselves, you know.
There's what?
The T2 is not going to build itself.
The Terminator 2?
Yes.
Well, the people in head of that race right now, the Chinese robots, have you seen those? They're doing the martial arts and all kinds of stuff. That's amazing. If they weaponize those, if they harden those and weaponize those, we're screwed. So.
Hey, I guarantee they're working on it.
Oh, for sure. If they make them like more EMP resistant, we're pretty much done.
So this is half of Pete Coley's. God, did I got the name right?
Pete is it Catley, right?
Charlotte Cox.
Pete Catley.
Catley, yes. Yeah. Pete Catley. That's half of his setup, but already what you can almost see here is already amazing.
Yeah.
Image systems. CR78? No.
It looks like an SP12. That's pretty cool.
It's the original, the one that the SP12 is based on.
SP12, yeah.
So CR78 there in the corner. I know because I have the Cherry Audio one. The MDX, I think. Let me.
Oberheim DMX, right?
DMX.
Yep.
Well, I recognize the DMX and the Lindrum he has from my G-Force collection. So.
In fact, although
they're wonderful,
because the thing is, he didn't do much pictures of his own setup. He did a bunch of pictures of everybody else's setup, including PU extra large, including this one. Oh bollocks! Wrong screen. Wait, where am I? This is the wrong folder. That's why I got the. Seriously. There. Including, starting with this one. So this is the room we were in. Basically, the only thing behind the person doing the picture is the back wall. It's another back wall with a row of vintage computers for when they do the training, because this is the training room where they do all the courses for kids and high schools and stuff. You can see the Ibanez fatty bald guy on the corner. That's me. And that was the corner where I was. You can see well, you can barely see the A4 posts on the wall. What's behind us in the corner on the floor, that's the other 2 or 3 guitars and the main board. That one showing its back, it's Peter James. I have to remove Pioricelli's and a visitor's face there, and that corner was the wall on the left that can be seen in this picture.
You should have just given Robbie like a big Mario mustache.
Controversial. Moving on. And Peter James had his setup against the window, all the way up to the screen. So that window space that's his. The space between the screen and my corner, that was what the organizer, Mr. Tony Jewell, brought up, which one of the pictures showed up in a minute.
Who had the Lindrum? I see a Lindrum from this other angle.
That's Pete Codley. That's Pete Codley's collection. Shall we get to that? Okay,
Yeah.
let's get to that. Let's get to that because that's interesting. But funny enough, the person who took the best pictures of his setup was not him. Was somebody else. Was Charlotte Cox. He did an amazing picture. Well, her pictures are all amazing. So let's start here. Let's see if you can identify this puppy.
Oh yeah, the Omnichord.
Yeah, I have that. I prefer the MIDI ones, but those are cool too.
Built-in speaker. Ooh.
Hell yeah. So that was, to me, I didn't know how to use it, and I don't think is there a model that is superior to this one? Because I've seen all sorts of looks.
Well, there's a brand new version. There's a new version they released last year at NAMM.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It looks similar, more colorful, has a lot more features, but the Omnichord OM200, OM300 are the MIDI versions. And so I basically turn all the audio down or just plug a headphone jack so you don't hear it and use it as a fancy MIDI controller. Because with the strum plate and the different chord settings and stuff, it's really powerful to do fun stuff with other gear. No Omnichord sounds at all.
See that?
I mean, I only heard one or two sounds, and they weren't that bad.
They're okay, but they cry out for effects unless you do retro stuff,
Obviously, or sicker bending. I get it.
Yeah, but as a MIDI controller, it's really nice. This is basically what ChordBot turned into. If you saw ChordBot, he took some of the best parts of the Omnichord and made a MIDI controller with it.
So, an authentic, totally refurbished, fully functioning lean drum computer, LM1.
There's two of them. There's one next to it too.
Yeah, that's the other model, the lean drum, I think. Because this is the LM1 and the other one is the lean drum. I never understood the difference or the naming. But what it shook me, because this is not the first time I've seen this collection. This is the third time because he came to Dawlish and brought all of this, plus the drum kits. But the last year, he also brought it the last year of, 2 years ago in Synthesized. These things are huge. They're not tabletops.
And so is the modern version. The modern recreation is also huge, just like this LM1. So
I mean, if you remove the whole control panel, and you see what that join plate right after the piece of paper, there's a line that is where the plates joined through screws. If you chop it there, what is left behind all the way to the bottom is already bigger than a 19-inch rack. As in, is I think could be 2U high.
It's very deep,
and fully 50 centimeters deep all the way. It's whoa. Watch it. Stop it. Stop it. So this is the one I love, and I couldn't believe when I saw it how nice this one sounds.
Oh, the old computer.
It's crazy. Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Those were nice.
It's amazing.
That was the one where you could put, punch in several beats at once.
At the same time.
Yeah.
If you take a look.
I had one of those that was stolen.
He made all the effort to put, you see on top of the units, there's a piece of paper on a stand. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the most visible is the year it was released.
1978, yeah.
But in this particular one, also, he's citing the songs that were made with the unit. And I think some of them is also telling you which buttons do you have to press to listen to what they use in the album. And that's mostly his whole setup, is to play those songs. Yeah. I mean, it was a whole weekend of Heart of Glass, Oxygen, all the classics.
Yeah.
Because the next one, let me move this. Next one, I mean, basically he had a whole table both ends, and that's without the drum kits. So obviously this one. Oh, me too. But hell no. No other spices. So this is the Lindrum, which technically is the compressed version of the LM1. Wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember if they both have ROM swaps or not, but certainly the LM1 you can swap the ROMs in it. But that was Prince's favorite trick, is to have custom sounds in his Lin with the custom ROMs.
Okay. The Oberheim, DX. Oh, DX. Shouldn't it be DMX?
DMX. Well, the DX is the. There were three things in the system. There was a DX, a DMX, and the OBX.
Okay.
And one was the. So I remember correct. It was a three-part system. Does it say DX there or DMX, or is that a typo?
No, that's DX.
DX. Yeah, that was the DX. Drum later. Obviously. You need one of those.
Yeah, those are pretty rare. You don't see those around.
But also the fact that you have them all of this is one single collection. I think this is pure Cellis. Yeah. He brought the old, how do they call it?
The Yamaha.
The Y-cams. He brought the whole Y-cam system.
Yeah. The 11's cool, but I prefer the 5. The 5 is amazing.
Why?
It's the most elaborate one. It has all kinds of sliders, and you can do a lot more with it.
Okay. This is back to Cutley's collection.
Oh, the 9000. Yeah.
Yep, 9000.
Gunheimer used that on Miami Vice a lot.
Ah, that's the one? Is that the one?
One of the things he used, yeah. I had Lin 9000, Memory Moog, DX7, Fairlight. Keytar, obviously.
55B.
King of the Keytar.
This is one of the ones that Cherry used for their emulation, right? They merged 2 or 3.
Yeah, there's a guy who does live kind of synth poppy stuff. I saw him come to San Francisco once, and he has one of these set up with some other stuff. It's all vintage gear, all hooked together. It's really cool.
I just had the samples are dumped in the 4MS Rompler drums, the KR55.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, I'm gonna need to do a little clearing for a second. So, oh, that's why. Sometimes, one of these days, because I'm still piling up and it's still taking it. So it's gonna. This is the one I love. I love the sound of this thing because it's so far away from a real drummer. It's not even close. But that's why I love it.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing they built into those home theater organs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's part of the charm, like a string synth, right? String synth doesn't sound like strings, but it sounds cool. So
yeah.
Well, it sounds like strings.
Not really.
Once
it
you
sounds
have,
synthy.
It sounds like strings once you have a whole orchestra of strings playing at the same time on a very poor recording mixed in the background.
It still always sounded.
Like those
it sounds cool, but always sounded wrong. Like
yeah.
Dreamweaver's a classic case of
yeah,
string synth. It sounds cool, but it doesn't sound like strings.
Not like violins. It definitely does not sound like violins.
You hear that that chorus swimming around, so or the phasing,
which is the whole point.
Yeah.
So I think this was Tony Jewell's presentation or part of it with the Atari and the Poly 8000, I think. And also he brought.
Is that a 6-track on the left that's cut off?
Yeah, but that was
Somebody
Peter's.
Yeah,
That's Peter's setup, which is, I think, this. Unless this is also Peter's, which I'm not totally sure. So this was Peter's setup, the 6-track, the SX1000, the Chroma, I think, Is that a chroma?
Yep.
Doesn't look like a chroma.
Yeah.
Listen.
Chroma Polaris.
The chroma Polaris.
Yeah,
okay,
the weird blue color is the Polaris.
That makes more sense.
I think they said it was a DX21 or 11.
The X21's cool because you can layer sounds. I like the 21.
Yeah, I think it's 21.
Wait. I'm trying to load shit.
At one point, I kind of bought almost all the DXs except for the really big one. So.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I have a DX100, DX7. What was it?
Okay, I'm gonna start clearing.
No, it's DX21. TX81Z, so it's in that same area. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. DX200, the little groove box.
Okay. Okay, so can I open more? Now that I made some room, open this. Now, okay.
I have
so this
oh, go ahead. No.
This is, I was commenting before you came, this person managed to find a mint condition, open, never used Jupiter 6. This clean. I mean,
wow.
It barely has any dust.
That's like the Juno 6 I got from a guy for free. It was in storage for over 25 years.
Yeah, same situation. I mean, it really looked like it was out of the box, to the point that I thought either he spent a ton of money refurbishing it, or it was basically a clone, a remake by somebody, some kind of copycat cloning that looks like with all modern gas. But they told me, no, this is the real deal. It was bought when brand new and put in a closet until I bought it a few years ago.
It's like new old stock.
Yep, exactly that.
Yeah, but probably the bushings in the keyboard are decayed.
Well, that's the problem I found out with the Juno 6.
Yeah.
The Juno 6 had all kinds of, I had to use deoxit on all the jacks because I was doing a recording with a friend, and one of our best live recordings we ever did, and the ARP was doing beautiful stuff and all this kind of stuff, and all of a sudden this like came into the recording and fucked the whole thing up. And that kind of stuff you can't clean. It's just noise.
Well, deoxit is just, it's like a fix-a-flat, you know. The stuff you squirt into a tire to fix a flat. It's not the right way to do it.
Well, it worked at the time because all I did was, you spray the plug and you screw the jack with the plug, right? You get the friction going to clear off the connections. That's all I was getting is getting a nice metal connection. And it's never had a problem since. I did that like 10 years ago. So
So I'm not sure who brought the father of them all, the DX7. That's kind of that's very close to Piricelli's corner, and that to me looks like a Mark 1, isn't it? DX7.
Yeah,
Mark
with the membrane buttons is a Mark 1. Yeah.
No, a DX7 2, because
I
two
has the hard buttons. This is the this is the one, the original one.
No, but I mean, from the original, from the DX7, I believe it was at least one revision that changed aesthetically slightly.
There was 2 FD, I think. They had a floppy drive or something like that, which made it a little bit different.
No, before they released the DX7 2. The DX7
there was a brown one too.
Revisions.
This one's black. There was also a brown version.
Well, this looks brown to me, but probably have a different screen.
Yeah, there was one even more brown than this, unless it's just colored.
Okay.
Actually, this one looks like it has the floppy drive in it.
It does, doesn't it? But
this one kills me. DX7 came out with Aftertouch and Velocity, and then the modern, and the modern.
No Velocity.
No, it has Aftertouch and Velocity. It has both. And if you get the MoDX line, no fucking Aftertouch on any of them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
Even with the expensive one.
So this is the other half of Tony Jules' setup. Cubase 3 on an Atari with a Casio FS1.
Nice. I have an FC1 rack. and not the keyboard.
This was also very hefty.
It's a not fun to use sampler. I mean, it's very powerful, but the interface stinks on it. I hate the interface on the FC.
Well, they had to cut corners somewhere, didn't they?
Yeah. But it was like one of the first samplers to have so many stage envelopes in it. It has like, I think 12 stage envelopes or some crazy shit like that. And it's some really weird. I have to look it up again, but they're weird things.
This is Peter. This is probably Peter's again. Yeah, I think this whole corner was Pete's. So the Poly 8000 was also Pete's. EX 800, Overheim, I don't know.
Matrix, yeah.
Is that a Matrix? I don't know. I wouldn't know.
No.
Oh, he has the floppy playback thing too.
Is.
The sampler, the Oberheim sampler playback.
Yeah.
Those are rare. One of my local stores had one. It was there for several months, and I thought, do I want it or not? Does it still work? And I waited, and then it was gone. So
that's why you don't wait.
I didn't want. I mean, I'm not going to use it. Yeah, it's just if it doesn't work, I don't want to take time to fuck with it. That was me like 20 years ago. So
see it, snatch it. That's the rule. You know that.
Nah, it's got to work too. They didn't even know how to test it. They were selling it as is. So.
And this is the Y cams. So he brought RX11, GX1.
Oh wow.
And
the QX one.
Yeah. So yeah, every morning
and
we were.
What is that? That was the. You had the DX7.
QX on the drum machine.
No, and the DX line of synths. That's the one. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, TX802 is that at the bottom?
Yeah,
of TX802?
he's maxed out.
Oh, that's
with
eight. That's the 816 on the bottom.
Yeah,
A16. Like, sorry, 816.
It's like 8 DX7s together.
Yep.
Awesome.
I built one with Dext and VCV rack. It's hard to program.
Yeah, even the real one is that they're not that friendly, right?
It's just you got to take your time. Everything is ×8.
Yeah.
We all were welcome to San Elsewhere theme tune every morning.
Yeah. That always cracked me up. But they did that demonstration. Was that last year or 2 years ago? Where he and Manny
possibly 3.
Well, as soon as he played that, I knew that song. I didn't watch the show, but I knew the St. Elsewhere thing. I go, hey, that's St. Elsewhere.
That's right. And I just immediately thought of the, what was the Zappa live from just another band from LA or whatever. And it's like, what's their big hit with a bullet and it's Happy Together?
Yeah.
I had the same reaction.
Yeah.
So.
You hear that thing, you think Howie Mandel, which is not a good thought. So.
Well, that's because what was that guy's name from the Turtles that wrote that song?
Well, Flo and Eddie.
He was.
They were the singers for Zappa.
Yeah, well, they were in Zappa's band when they did that. So
that's a great album.
The Mud Shark.
The Mud Shark. That's
great.
So this is the full Peter James's setup. That's all he brought, and possibly a couple of things from Jewel, but I'm not sure. Now I'm just trying to curate to see what's not have been shown yet. This I'm gonna show for a different reason, because we've seen the main content, but I think this is the best shot there on the upper corner. That's where the motherboard is. So I was taking all that corner with the pedal board. So that black expression that belongs to the 55, the 6 and all the stone boxes for the complementary sound affecting of the 6B. So basically 55, and that's one of the things that kills me, because to me it's a waste. 55 came with 3 outputs, not 2, not 4, 3. Because 1 is meant to be the guitar through that units like the ones you have, like 30 or 33 or even GR1 had. The minute they went to GK2, who has the connection to connect the guitar pickups into the GK unit, so you can send everything down the 13-pin cable, they started putting a kind of a bypass or a through connection, so the signal from the magnetic pickups from your guitar would not be affected by the GR unit, and you would send it to whatever unit of, well, back in the day, basically to a guitar amplifier or to any rack unit you wanted to process the real-time guitar sound through. So they kept that, but the problem is 55 comes with magnetic processing, but also the hexaphonic custom modeling. So you need to choose where the modeling goes through. Are you gonna put output through the guitar through output, or you're gonna put it with the rest of the synths on a left and right? So you cannot even send to, because basically you're handling 4 sources, but you cannot send it to 4 destinations, because one of them is always going to be compromised in one of the other 2. Unless you say, okay, I'm never going to use the magnetic pickups in the guitar, so I get the guitar through, I can assign it to just be the modeling, the physical modeling, and that way you can have actually 3 independent monophonic things. You can put one synth in one side, the other synth in the other side, and the modeling in the other side. But then you lose your guitar. You might as well just be playing a plank without pickups, because your guitar signal is being sent down the cable, but it dies there because there's no way to separate it from the rest. So everybody knows I hate 55. It has too many shortcomings. But it was also very cheap. So, what do you guys think about Synthesized? Would you be something you would attend if you were in the same country?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
We have those here.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have a bunch of those with the Baltimore Synth DIY group. And I don't remember how it got started up. But that was back 20 years ago. And
Actually,
and eventually it kind of, we started showing up at that National Electronic Museum, and that's when Electronica Fest got started, and it's just been that ever since.
yeah.
Which is no show and tell; it's just nothing but performers.
Okay.
But the very first thing we got together was at a place called the Octagon up in North Baltimore, and it was in July. And no air conditioning. And it was a hot day like it is today. It was close to 100 degrees outside Fahrenheit. And we're inside with no air conditioning. I got a bunch of pictures of that. And everybody's just soaking wet with sweat. And a couple of people were smart and brought fans, but my big module over there, I hauled 6 of those cabinets to that thing.
Wow. Okay. And I thought I was crazy for moving the JV collection.
But it was fun. it was pure hell, but it was fun.
When I was in Japan last year and the humidity and heat were off the charts, we bought these little portable fans. And we're just walking around with the portable fan the whole time. It was awesome.
So, well, as far as Synthesized, now our jam group, EMPS, Electronic Music Production Society, sort of started that way. So, like, I call these things show and tell, right? So
yes.
It was a meetup group, and it's like, show up at this location, this day and time, and bring something, bring whatever you want, and that's how it started. And then once you do the show and tell, then you start to play, and before long you start to jam. And over time, it evolved to just jamming and no show and tell. We hardly even look at each other's gear. So, but
well,
there's another group. There's a new group that's just started here. They're called the DC Synth, and these are all like on Facebook. So that's where I hear these. But we have the Virginia Synth group, and they're very active because Virginia's kind of a big state as far as like Southern Virginia has a very active synth community, and they do shows like this. They just did one a couple of weeks ago, I think. But then Northern Virginia, up out around DC and all, is also a population. So they've just started the DC Synth group, and that's being run by Professor Sean Luke, who creates the Edison synth editor, patch editor, and they're basically in he's at George Washington University, so that's or James Madison, George Mason, one of those. some old dead dude's university. And that's where they meet and all like that. And I also point out there was at the same time EMPS was forming, another group formed, and was the same kind of thing, just showing synths and stuff like that. But that dissolved. So
yeah, but it makes sense that the group starts with show and tell, and evolves into just jamming. If most of the same people keeps attending and basically, obviously, bring in most of the same gear. So. Yeah. At one point, you already know what's going to be there. You just want to use it and make music with it. Yep. I find it totally logical. And talking about music, okay, I'm gonna put this idea out because the day after the event, it sounded in my head like the best thing since sliced bread. But the day after, I thought, what the fuck was I smoking? Nobody's gonna be interested in this shit. Not in 2026. Probably 10 years ago, but not anymore. And now I'm on the fence. I don't know if it's a good idea. Is it just stupid? Is it crazy, or is it just too convoluted, or just out of touch with reality? Because this 2026 had a synthesized event. 2025 didn't because they decided to give it a sabbatical to the whole concept, organization, the place, etc. So in 2024, my second Synthesized and the last one I attended, they brought a musical act to perform within the museum, inside the same, in the same location, different room. But after hours. So basically they would do the standard 10 to 5 event. They would shut the museum, and 1 or 2 hours later they would open just to people with tickets to assist to the music. Obviously the bunch of us which were already in and bought the tickets for the performance, we just stayed in and wait for the people to come in. And I thought that was really cool. And same as in Dulwich. Dulwich had, even the day event had music every couple of hours, had some music playing, which is, at this point of the film, I think that is the most important side of it, because it's very well and good to show the new generations the things that made that music that they're now discovering from old times, and it were made with these tools. But to me, it's even more important to show them that they're still useful. There's still proper tools to do proper music nowadays. So I had this thought about how to bring music back to synthesize. That was the first thought. But also to make it a little more interactive, more like a museum. Then I thought, what about making some middle ground between a karaoke and a battle of the bands? Okay? So the setup is already there, so you don't need to bring anything if you don't want to. And by setup, I understand that Cotley could bring his drum kit, one of his drum kits. Anybody can bring a keyboard or two, or a guitar. I can bring the guitar. I would bring bass and guitar, synthesizers-ish, and obviously microphone available to whoever has the pendants to go and sing in front of a bunch of strangers. Okay? But then I thought, yeah, but that implies that people that would jump on it already knows music. And I said, but wait a second. What about teleprompters? Getting the music, either codified video game style, like Guitar Hero, sort of, or Band Hero. Band Hero managed to codify on screen with streaming color balls, bass, guitar, singer, and drummer in one single screen, and you only had to wait until the ball reached a specific line, and then you hit there. And the technology evolved. Those games became so popular when launched.
Well, how big was your audience? How big was your audience? Because none of the photos I saw seemed to have like very many people in the place.
The fullest I saw the room, probably 25 people.
Yeah, so
and that's counting the people exposing.
Yeah, kind of a detailed performance thing, unless you're going to have a space or something. But
obviously, that's what I mean. It would be a specific corner of the exposition that were a whole band setup with probably on a small shallow stage. And with that ready to go, the people showcasing the gear would do the first demos, and we have the first go. Who wants to chip in and jump in, and have a list of songs in the teleprompters for them to just follow the instructions on screen.
Oh, that's too much work.
It doesn't have to be that elaborate. I mean,
Jeff will tell you, our jams are, you pick a BPM, we pick a key, a mode, and go. And I'll start an arpeggiator, and then Jeff will jump in with a bass or what, That's sort of just everybody pile in. Somebody starts a sound, and everybody pile in. That's much easier than anything with, like, forget vocals, okay? Ain't gonna ever be vocals in my jams. I'm sorry.
Why not?
Because the monitoring.
Don't be mean.
You have the whole monitoring issue with vocals. So that immediately changes the dynamic of the recording.
Well, none of us can sing anyway.
Oh, that doesn't stop me.
Exactly.
No, it's just you now go into a system. Now everybody's got to have headphones on because we can't have the speakers and the mic. And all that stuff.
Yes,
what you could do is give everyone a taste of how it is to make a track with just like a couple measures. Like you play, let me show you some basic chords for this song physically, right? You can't read music, doesn't matter. These are the notes here. Practice a little bit. This is the drum beat here, or whatever you want to do over there. Practice that a little bit. Here's the bass line. You play with a little bit, and then you let them experience a couple measures of a live jam with instruments, and then they get the feel of how it is to make something, even if it sucks.
Yeah, well, even just have them just play the black keys,
Right.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, the most basic, some really simple stuff.
Yeah. No
and because
like
Anthony Marinelli, I watch Anthony Marinelli at NAMM, and so he has a demo where it's a 2600 demo. And he brought people up after he did his amazing demo with a live fucking helicopter taking off and a Doppler shifting around and landing and all this stuff. It's amazing, right?
Yeah. All the tricks.
And all these kids are like going, "What the fuck? I can't figure this out." And he goes, "No, come on over here. So check this out. So do this and try this. And then what does that do? That's pretty cool, right?" And then he spends a couple minutes with some guy, shows some really basic settings, and then say, "Now you go off and try something. I could teach you some basic settings." And you watch the guy experiment, and it was a lot of fun because the big smile on their face is they're not just watching a guy play who knows his shit. They're experimenting. They're learning. They go, "Hey, this isn't so hard. I can do this. I don't have to be a rock star, right?" So there are ways to engage with people like that to make it fun.
I can see
I buy modular? No.
I can see.
You approach it like a teacher, right? You don't approach it like a demo nerd. You approach it like a teacher.
It makes way more sense as a jam, not as a band.
You said there's like 12 people have their displays, right? And everybody seemed to have the same speaker, the little KRKs or whatever. It's like if you said, look, okay, at 3 o'clock we're going to take a break and we're going to have a jam. Everybody, fire up your speakers. Let's, just make this room loud, and drum machines can do the drums and all. In 10 minutes, you've got that whole room rocking. I guarantee.
Yeah,
that's it. Possibly, yeah.
Like, for example, I have my niece and nephew in time when they're real little, and I said I want to get them interested in music because eventually they're going to hear a bunch of garbage, like Taylor Swift or whatever, and all kinds of awful stuff. But I want to teach them how to make music from real simple levels, like little rhythm bits and stuff. So I brought over like a claves and a shaker and castanets or whatever, some little cling clangy, click clacky, little tiny drums and stuff. And I said, okay, niece, I'm going to start doing this. And then you start doing that, and then here's how you do it. And then we just went around the room, and pretty soon we had a cool little rhythm jam, and they were having fun. They were smiling. I mean, they didn't want to do it for an hour, but they were having fun for like 10 minutes. And I taught them how to listen to others, fill in where the gaps are, play along, do some kind of a structure. and they had a good time. So
yeah, absolutely.
That makes way more sense to with the spirit, like those things you love in NAM, the drum circles.
exactly, the drum circle is a perfect example of that. That guy's really
with
good.
With that spirit, but with teaching them beforehand in 3 minutes synthesizer basics. As in, you're gonna control this with a keyboard. This is gonna be controlled with a guitar. And if you play guitar, you can play one single note on guitar. Done. Can you play bass? Bass you play like this. We decide the sounds. We design the sounds that they're gonna be playing for a minute or two, and let them jam on a very basic stuff. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's engaging, and they will remember that, and they might get the bug.
Yeah. And that's the whole spirit of the museum. That's why they have their classes. They teach kids, and by kids I mean anything from 10 to 19. They teach vintage computers so they understand modern computing.
Teach a kid Commodore Basic, and you've got a programmer for life.
The museum itself has, I believe they do. I don't know if they're missing one or two pieces. Every single gaming console ever released is in that museum. Every single one.
We've got a museum like that.
And most of the personal computers, including the BBC one, the BBC personal computers, because that was the bigger effort that UK did in the mid 70s to try to bring the country up to speed with computing, because the Americans were too far ahead. So they started promoting computing and programming at a school level and giving families as much financial facilities they could to buy a personal computer, because they were made specifically for the BBC corporation. So they were brandless but made in UK.
You're talking about BBC Micro, the BBC Micro computer.
Right.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think I learned about it.
Yeah.
It was a bespoke, homemade personal computer that the kids could rent.
There's a show I watched on YouTube actually called Micro Men. It's just the whole history of Sinclair and those the Sinclair and the BBC Micro and those guys.
Cool.
Yeah. So great history.
Those were the times.
Man,
where
ancient history now, but
where computers actually worked, and you just put them by flicking a switch.
Stop. Excuse me. Actually worked. That's.
They did work.
Hey, if they didn't work, you wouldn't be doing this show. So.
But also, I mean, they did work because they only had to do one thing. They only could do one thing, and that thing they did as good as they could. They could do any better. So. Now I'm gonna go controversial because we're right on the verge of the 2-hour mark. So once again, I could give 5 minutes and show what I have already running, but we're not gonna get into how to get there. We're gonna just give a taster of what the AxOn can do in 5-10 minutes, but I think I'm gonna call a night. I'm gonna call it a show. Okay?
Yeah, I have to go grab some food and stuff, but I don't want to see a little bit of your demo. So,
first thing I learned today, I probably learned back in the day, but I forgot, is that I don't know how to tell the AxOn to reverse the pickup. So once again, I'm with the same problem I have with the Yamaha, for instance. And the guitar, because the guitar I reverse the pickup. That one has the pickup upside down, so the magnet 6 is underneath the string 1, so it's totally reversed. And
why do you want it reversed?
Because that I'm gonna show you.
I forgot why then.
Yeah.
So instead of having the cable where the hand should be, which gets damaged, sweaty.
Oh, just to make
breaks,
the cable routing. Right,
yeah.
Just to get the cable away and keep it clean and dry and make it last a little longer. Because GR55 is one of the things that you can set up when you set up your GK pickup. You can tell which way the pickup is, and it would do the compensation itself. On AxOn, I haven't found how yet. And G50, the Yamaha. Excuse me.
Maybe you can't. That's possible.
It's very likely that you can't. But
you could modify the cable. Just swap wires around in the cable and take care of it.
But I haven't thrown the towel away because what I'm going to show you. Well, I'm going to go to show you, right?
Y'all.
Let me show. Yeah, you. Generic you.
You all. Y'all.
Sorry, you all. Funny how English works, isn't it?
That's second person plural, which we don't have in English.
It's y'all.
Exactly.
So I use it all the time. It's a good word.
Well, that's what I mean. Ustedes is you all, isn't it? Isn't that ustedes the same as you all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although it's a respectful way. Now you got.
That's how we were taught. So I just
like in French, vous can be.
But I have to remember how to speak Spanish. So let me reload. You can laugh.
Pobrecito.
It's not funny. Pobrecito. Pobrecito yo.
You've been assimilated.
Yo tú él, nosotros vosotros.
Yeah, we learned vosotros and never used it. So.
Because vosotros is the real normal tense. Ustedes is a respectful. It's a deference. It's a ustedes. It's bowing down to somebody on a higher level. The problem is when we went down South America, obviously we tried to teach the indigenous, the Indians, to be respectful to the conquerors. So we taught them ustedes.
That's a tall order, by the way. So
I know. The problem is we never told them that the right way is vosotros. So they never learn vosotros, and many of the countries don't use vosotros. They use ustedes all the time. So it's not wrong, but it's not proper. It's wrong grammar, right?
Well, they would show it in class. It was in the list, but they brought it up and we never touched it. You just there it is. There's vosotros. Nobody uses it.
Vosotros is a V.
Yeah.
Vd.
I thought it was a formal we. It's not a formal we.
No, vosotros is a formal you. Sorry, it's the standard you. You plural is vosotros.
I thought it was nosotros, but with V, it's a formal nosotros. So.
No, nosotros is first tense plural.
Yeah.
We. That's the we. Nosotros with an N. With a V, vosotros is you. Is the plural.
It sounds too much like nosotros. That was a bad idea. Yeah.
Well, think about all the Spanish kids that need to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Also, it's even harder because in Spanish, some teachers teach you that there's a different diction for B than for V. That the in some Castilian teachers.
Oh, we learned it's a B sound. Yeah.
One is a B sound and the other is a V sound. But many Castilian teachers, they will teach you that there is not such a sound in Castilian. There's no V. It's always B, no matter what you write.
That's what we heard. Is that not true?
No.
Okay.
But the problem is that is true if you come from the Castilian school. If you come from the rest of the country who didn't speak Castilian and had to learn Castilian, they brought their own dictions. The V, it's evolution from French to Catalonian to Valenciano to all the Mediterranean shore.
I would order vegetable soup at the Mexican restaurant. He'd call it vegetable soup.
Exactly. Because there's, technically in Castilian there's no diction difference.
Yeah.
You need to learn by heart how to spell it. You cannot hear it.
And as a kid, I thought it was hilarious. What the hell is vegetable? You know.
Vegetable. But yeah, for a scholar, it's a pain in the ass because you need to learn those words by heart. But if you're on the Mediterranean side of Spain, which they're allowed, they actually have a very distinctive B and V with a fricative, more slurred, then it's just, you have to listen. It's evident, right? But once again, it's bad diction because it's not proper Castilian diction. So, what I was trying to show is this.
Muy bien.
Muy bien, thank you very much. Y acabamos la clase por hoy. So, and once again comes with this, that is a little bit of, it's confusing, is the fact that when you go on your global settings, okay, once again, we're talking about AX50 USB, and this is the computer editor for it because it barely has a screen in it. So anything you need to change needs to go through the computer. Thank God, thanks to this setup. So first thing that I couldn't do for the last show is this light that's the connection, because you need to define, if you want to redefine it first, you need to disconnect the software from the unit. And that's when you have, which is not showing here, because I need to show the screen, and I can do that. If you, which are the MIDI ports connected to the computer that you're going to be using to talk with the software. By default is just the first option, which is AxOn AX50 USB. Although it comes both in inputs and outputs with 1, 2, 3, 4 more USBs. Yeah, 4 more virtual USB connections. So technically you could talk with 4 different pieces of software that require as an exclusive MIDI driver. I would love to be able to put this to the test, but definitely not today, on another day. And for the outputs is for the outputs it's easier because you only have 1 USB option and 1 MIDI, as in 5-pin DIN option. That's for the outputs, exactly. And in the inputs is when you have the multiple inputs. And that's kind of weird because so far the only thing you can do from external MIDI to this unit is to change patches.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a sound generator, do you? And
no.
50, so.
No. That's still something that is common with your unit. We don't have a synth engine within the AxOn. Right. The AxOn is basically a MIDI controller that will talk with several stuff. Yeah. And because the USB, that's why they put several USB inputs. That makes no sense.
Yeah, it
okay.
doesn't.
So, why do I think that it could be a workaround reversing the pickup? Is because it asks you what tuning is the guitar you're handling, which, as you can see on the top, you have up to 8 different full guitar setups you can store within the unit. Okay? Mm-hmm. You can call each single string's tuning. So I've done a couple of experiments very shortly and non-scientifically, not thoroughly enough, to basically tune the cross strings. Give to the string number 1 the note of string number 6, so on and so forth. So you basically would be trying to read the wrong pitches on the right pickups, in a way of speaking. I had very limited success with that one, so for this demonstration I'm not even going to try.
Huh. So you're basically just telling it that you've got that the pickups mounted normally, but you've reversed all your strings.
Exactly. In my head, that should work.
Yeah, sure.
I haven't managed yet, for some reason.
Didn't it work for Jimmy?
What?
Didn't it work for Hendrix?
Well, he did for magnetic pickups. It always does. Well, but this is a different tech. That's another thought. What would have Jimmy done with a synth tar? So just
things.
fuck yeah. So very very quick run through because there's not much to do here. Although some nomenclature is confusing, that's why I want to go very roughly go through it. So MIDI channel, the basic channel. A is the channel for the input to change patches if you need to do that from the outside, from a controller or from a sequencer. And also, if you go into multi-timbral mode, it would be the lowest channel that the system will use. Pitch bend range is whenever you bend the string in how many, I think it goes in half steps, how many half steps that pitch bend will send MIDI information out. And I can remember what the reason is for. Tune base, this is also confusing because it says auto tune. It does not tune, and I don't think it quantizes. But if you choose to tune your guitar different than 440 hertz for middle A, right?
Yeah.
You only have to tune your guitar on that different pitch, and by playing an A note into the unit, it would understand the deviation in all 6 strings, and it would store it as part of the profile of the guitar you're setting. Guitar number, that's the play, that's the number, the label that you put to the memory. So it adds up to the tab that is clicked. So if I click a different tab, I can also give it a different number. Sorry, it kind of it defaults, but because you could have, I don't know.
You can't give it a name. How are you going to keep track without a name?
No, that thing cannot be named, and don't ask me why.
Just create your own little spreadsheet or something.
No, in the 100 you could give it a name, like 8-character name.
To the guitar or to the patch?
If for each type of guitar setup you have, and they call it something other than a patch, but it's like a patch.
Yeah, but because it's exactly the same here. We are still not getting to the patch level. This is just the global section, okay?
Right.
The global setup. And in the global setup, you can store, let's call it profiles, 8 different guitar profiles.
Yeah, instruments. Yeah.
Also instruments, because in instrument type, you can choose here. Well, it doesn't show to you. There's 4 options. You could have a guitar, a bass, a violin, or a cello.
Right.
Just take a Sharpie and draw 1, 2, 3 on all your guitars, right? So.
Yeah.
I had to do for the tunings.
Yeah. So on the AxOn 100, you could put a little text label for them, but you can't do it with this.
4 words, 4 letters, something like that.
No, I think it was 8. I don't know.
8 letters.
Which is funny because this is more advanced as far as the software goes, right? But you can't change the name.
Yeah, because on the 100 you got this tiny little screen and some buttons. It's horrible.
Remember that the Terratec, the voltage to MIDI conversion, I don't think changed at all in between the units. It was more about the delivery and the presentation that evolved. In this case, remove the painting the 16 chapel through the mailbox and give you a full screen computer editor, because there's no screen in the unit. There's no interaction.
Yeah.
I mean, even the tuner that's in the unit is 1 button. You go into tuner, even that is compromised because it's only one 8-segment LCD display. Well, 2 of them, but one is for the note and the other one is for how far away you are, and it's really bouncy. So
it's silly not to be able to change the name, though. It's kind of like having a LED character system where you're fixed, and you have we have a LCD screen now, but you can't change the stuff. You still have 01, 02.
If it can be done, I don't know how.
No, well, there's nothing there that says name, instrument name.
None of the options of the scroll down menus are showing to the stream.
What if you right-click the name box?
I'm doing it. Nothing.
No, up top, the name box itself.
Where's
the guitar name at the top.
Says
this one.
3.
Yeah, right-click that.
No, same. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
No reaction. Okay. So instrument type: guitar, bass, cello, and violin, which is the one I found weird. Well, in fact, cello and violins, they're both 4 strings, aren't they?
Yeah. But
that's weird. Because the whole system is designed for 6-string instruments. But
I don't know.
Then you choose if you want, if it has a magnetic pickup system or a piezo, on the saddle, basically, piezo, like the Godins that come with a divided hexaphonic piezo. I assume because of volume, intensity, timbre, blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Note off limit is how quiet does your note need to be for it to turn the note off. Basically, it's a sideways way to control your sustain on the synth side. Once you perform it, apart from the guitar volume, basically how long it would keep a constant volume and then turn the note off. And trigger level, it's basically how hard you have to hit for it to understand that you're playing and it's not just fret noise. The wheel controller, I just went through the manual today. This is, if you have a pickup like the ones that AxOn sold, like the Roland GKs 2 and 3, and possibly the Yamaha version, that on top of the switch for synth, guitar, or both, you had a potentiometer. That's what they call wheel controller. Basically, it's a assignable voltage, because it's not sending down MIDI or anything digital. It's sending down voltage like an expression pedal, like a guitar expression pedal, expression/volume. If you have one, turn this one on, and you later in the patch will be able to assign it something to do. You're muted. Andy, you're muted.
Sorry, is that the wheel thing on the GK3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the GK3, when I first saw a picture of the GK3, I went, oh, that's the AxOn pickup.
Exactly. They learn from everybody and nobody at the same time. So, instrument tuning, as I said, you can, and this is the one that is really...
My battery's dying here, so I'll be back if I can. It'll take me a few minutes to hook up here, but I'll be back.
Okay, yeah. If not, just take care and see you soon. We'll keep you posted, okay? Okay, let me put you backstage. There we go. So that's for that controller. What it breaks my brain is this retuning thing for one single reason, and that's when I would love to be able to. Okay, I'm caving in. I'm showing you. Let me undo this so I can do it again the proper way. Okay, it's gonna be smaller because this is designed, I think, for Windows XP, so it's not too big. But now you can see the options. So this tuning thing is where you can tell the unit what is the actual string tuning of the string that is on top of the pickup. And that's why I thought that was the way to reverse the pickup, because why would you put this in anyway? Because you could just say, like you have here, you have options for tunings. You say, okay, this is standard, or it's drop, or is that or that specific one in one preset, one option, and that's it. Why go through the trouble to go individually string for string if one of the reasons would be to reverse the order of the strings? Okay? But what it breaks my brain is when you open these options, first of all, it's a downwards or upwards scrolling list, right? Second, it only goes from C capital 3 to B underscore, no, how do you call that, the small letters?
Subscript. No.
Subscript.
Lowercase? You're talking about lowercase?
Lowercase, thank you.
Lowercase.
That's
B.
the one.
Yeah.
So B lowercase with no numbers.
What is that?
Exactly.
There's.
It makes no sense because
I've seen that.
it's not even the 127 amount of numbers that media has. It's way less than that. So basically it goes from C3 capital. So all the
It's going
notes.
down. It's going down.
Yeah, but it's going down. But for what I tested so far, C3 capital is C1. As in it's C0. C3 capital corresponds to the piano C0. Then you go to C capital 2, that is C1. I think, because I still make no sense, because from 2 goes to C1, which is C2, and then goes to just C capital, which is C3, I think, and then goes to lowercase c, which I think is C4.
They're going lowercase.
Everything's reversed.
It's weird.
From capital is meant to be a lower note than lowercase, but on top of that, they're on top of the list instead of the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
So I'm utterly confused. And you can do that per string. Well, then the sensitivity. The manual talks to you on a way that, like, sensitivity is something that you can strum the strings and it will give you a reading, so you can tweak the fader until it's balanced to whatever you need. Today I didn't manage to see anything.
So would that be commonly used? Like, say you want to keep your guitar permanent, like a drop D tuning, and you don't want to keep monkeying with it. You would change it in here.
You can put it here, and you can save it in your hard drive as a preset. And if you want to bring another guitar with the same tune, you just load the presets. For instance, here I have this one I call HB E flat, and it changes everything. That's my Harley Benton when I try to tune it on E flat, but also with the pickup reverse. So I tried to do but it started making no sense. So if I go back to a standard, to normal they call it, that is the default. So here I'm trying to make a 5-string bass. So you see, 5-string bass, the bottom B is B1. Sorry, it's B0 on the piano. Is B0. That's the bottom B on a 5-string bass, right? And if you choose bass, magnetic, normal, the note they give to the bottom string is B2, not even B3. Remember that the list starts in 3.
So they have their own system, basically. They're not following the standard.
It's totally bonkers.
Yeah.
And he is back. Hello.
Ooh, you're live.
Are you powered up? And he's gone. Okay, let's give him another minute. So that's what really breaks my brain, is like, which one is which. So it doesn't help that I'm trying global tuning on top of patch tuning, on top of synthesizers that using patches transposed already. As in, if I choose a bass synth tone, that patch is the same patch they will give you for lead, is just transposed an octave lower. So the patch itself is already transposed lower than the note you're playing, but you see why my brain is exploding a little bit? Apart from that, there's not much more you can do in this screen. So that's all your global settings. And then you start with the patching. I'm gonna go back to the other view because at least you can see everything big, although you can't see the menus. Come on, you can do it. And let's bollocks, no, not this one. Share screen, and share window, and this, and share. Cool, and add. So many levels, good. Because now at least we can see the boxes. So now we get on a patch level, okay? Now everything's definable, and that's when it gets really bonkers. So this is the memory I was making for this new guitar, because I didn't have the 5-string when I got the unit at the beginning and started learning how, or tried to learn how to use it. So first thing I had to do is to give it this one I can name. The patches can be named, although I think they have something like 12 or 16 characters length total. It's not very long, but at least under this patch, I can use the guitar 3 preset, which I did. You see that the number 1 is down. So that is just to tell me that this is the 5-string instead of the 6-string, right? Also, I found that very, very logically, the bottom string, the low B, I assume because frequency needs that extra oomph in the pickup to trigger notes at the same level as the other 4 strings. But once again, back to the patch. You can give it a name, which you can store in the unit and or in the computer hard drive. And that's also a little bit confusing because store to means save in the unit, save to disk, which is right now under the StreamYard logo. Motherfuckers. Can I move this? I don't think I can.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, did it? Oh, great.
Yeah.
So that's saved to this.
You, though.
Yeah, sorry. Well, that's a win-win. So load from disk and save from disk is basically interaction with your computer's hard drive. Okay. Store to and get preset, that's interaction with the unit. Okay. So you're reading from the unit and you're sending through the unit. So as I assume, they're doing these 2 operations through sysex, through MIDI. Mm-hmm. Okay. And as you can see, that what is written in the box that says preset name is the same that is written on the box close to store to, because once you modify what you have on screen, you could choose opening the name the box with the name opens you a scroll with all the available slots in memory, which is 128 expected. Okay, so I'm working on slot number 6, patch number 6 of the unit. So that's why that box there, oh, now it's not showing the pointer. Why is it not showing the pointer?
Oh, you're back.
Now the pointer's back. Cool. Sorry about that. So this one shows the patch and with the name, which is the preset name. So then guitar number for the patch, because you can choose any of 8. You need to tell it which one, which tells you the number and the first 2 parameters of the whole setup, which is it's a bass and is using a magnetic pickup. They think it is significant. It does help a little bit, but not much. because it doesn't tell me if it's my 5-string bass, my multi-scale bass, or my 6-string bass.
They should let you name it.
Yeah. Exactly, they should. Then string mode, that's when it starts getting interesting. Options are separate or common, means you're gonna send each string on separate MIDI channels, or all the string information in a common MIDI channel. Okay, so at the moment it's set to separate. That's when you go down and go to MIDI channel by the strings. You can see from 1 to 6, because 1 is what we did in global as the beginning MIDI channel, and also the channel that the unit will receive the program change messages from. Then next thing is wheel controller pickup. This is that thing we were controlling, that potentiometer on the GK. What do we want it to do in this patch? Because we got well, basically all the 127 CC options. Some are labeled, some are vintage labeled, some are modern labeled, but yes.
Yeah. Now, if you look down at the picture of the headstock, it says MIDI tuning for bass.
Yep.
That isn't the tuning you put in, is it? It's supposed to be, but it's not, right?
It happens to be the same, but it is there so you can make it different in the patch.
I
so
know,
the unit is reading the one I set up in global. That's what the AxOn is reading, but what is sending is what you put here in the patch. Mm-hmm. So I could transpose the whole guitar on any way I would choose.
Right.
So
but
to send out.
I'm just saying that the note numbers that it put on the keys are not what you told it, are they?
Yes, they are. If I go back to global,
I thought you reversed them because your pickup's reversed.
No, that's what I said.
There you go.
I thought that I could do that for the guitar and it would work. So far, not so much.
Oh, so you're not doing it here.
In guitar 3, which is my 5-string standard scale bass, okay, I go for tuning normal, which automatically assigns B2, E1, A1, D, G.
Oh.
It still assigns C, but because I have no way to tell him this is just a 5-string.
I know, but I was confused here because this is not the setup for the bass where you have the pickup reversed, right?
If I go to guitar 2, which in fact is my guitar, not a bass, that's when I have all the strings reversed, or that's what I thought.
But now, from here, if you go to the next page where it does it show up on the headstock down there? No, it doesn't.
No, because in the patch where it says guitar number,
still saying
I'm
3,
telling, if I go to, in this one, if I choose 2, then it will change. So by default, as a start, takes the one from global. You see, that's what you need to tell to the patch, which guitar are you using, which profile.
I know, but I was trying to see here that you had basically the strings reversed to compensate for the pickup being reversed, but you didn't.
Yeah.
This isn't the one.
Because since I don't really understand that weird naming of the actual pitches, I don't really know what is up and what is down. So it's still not working. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the one that is working and the one that I managed to.
I was going to say, can I do a quick favor? Can you just do a quick audio demo? Because I have to jam, but I want to hear it real quick. So you can go back to the minutia.
As I said, no, I'm just speeding up. It's going to take a minute. So.
Okay.
String mode is one single channel, multiple channels. Right. Wheel control is what do you want the pot in the GK unit to do. NRPN is do you want an NRPN within the patch to do something specific to your synth, something that only your synth can read, if you want to use it or not. And so basically you can choose not to use it, NRPMs or RPNs, right? Finger pick, this is if you're gonna actually either finger picking a 6-string or playing your bass with fingers, when you ask it to be more sensitive for fingers, automatically you see that these two boxes here, they gray out.
Yeah.
Automatically your modulators, your pickup position modulators get automatically disconnected, because they cannot, when you play with flash, you don't generate enough harmonics for the system to tell in which point of the string are you plugging. That's why they disconnected. So they remove that option. So, but if you keep that off, means that you're using a pick, means that you can do 2 position pick splits to control 2 different modulations.
What about slap bass? Could you do slap bass with it?
I haven't tried. I don't think so.
Or hammer on pull off? How does that work?
It does work perfectly. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the next window, which is the one that will take a whole show with, is when you establish your splits, because you can have fret split, string split, and then each string plug-in position modulation. If you have a multi-timbral unit that you're sending information out, and you choose to send each string on its own MIDI channel, means that you can split a 6-string fretboard into 12 different sounds, each one of those sounds with 2 different peak position modulations attached to it. That's why there's so many freaking voices in this window here. First of all, it asks you what is the program that will load when you go to dispatch. What PC is gonna send? GM, general MIDI instrument name, basically to give you a reminder that what is it meant to be loading.
So you could have with that pick region setting.
Yep.
You could basically have. I guess you wouldn't use it for that, but you could have different samples triggered with different.
Yes.
No. It's just modulation.
Okay.
Basically,
so you'd have to program the specific. If you want to like brightest higher up the neck versus lower down the neck on the fret area, you could load custom samples to do that, right?
That would be the softest way to put it. But a more extreme is: do you have a lead sound in a string, right? You want the split that is closer to the neck. If you plug closer to the neck, it's gonna play it with resonance at 5.
No.
But if you plug closer to the bridge, it's gonna. I think you can create more than one parameter for the modulation, but it's going to play full resonance all the way up, and let's say LFO.
Or dial in more reverb the higher you go up versus lower or something like that.
Yeah.
Only if the unit you're sending the MIDI to can accept that type of CC messages.
Yeah.
But basically, it's CC messages in 2 split zones per string. Right? Okay. Well, sorry. You can see there's a bar on top and there's a bar underneath. Okay. This is for all strings. The where is for all strings. So you can have. So yeah, basically it is 2 different splits that creates 3 plugin zones. So one split gives you 2 areas, and the other one gives you the other 2 areas. Okay, so you have kind of a middle, top and low for 2 parameters, and a middle ground that I'm not sure you could control a 3rd parameter. Let's start showing a little bit of this, and hope that it still works after 2 hours. So, and let's start with the easiest way to show, which is VSTs. So, and that's gonna be the, because I don't think I can I? Extra camera, but I wouldn't know how to do that. Well, this patch doesn't really show much. I'll just have to try and jump from one to the other. Because if I do this, yeah, it doesn't. So, to show the other VST, yeah. Show window.
Share the screen real quick and then go back to this view, just so we know where you're playing.
Yeah, the very quick is the problem.
Yeah, it doesn't have to stay
the very quick. Yeah, but the quick is the problem. So first I need this.
Well, StreamYard's never that quick, so quite that quick. So.
In the first place, yeah. So I'm gonna be this. I'm using Sonic 7 because it's multi-timbral and it's fully MIDI mappable. Okay, and it's kind of light to the CPU. So, and now I need the audio mixer to give the audio back. That should be here.
I just hear the microphone. There we go.
Yeah, that works.
We got audio, right?
Yep.
So I hope you can see each line is a different patch, because now it's set up on multi-timbral, and by default each patch you can see is a different MIDI channel, right? Do I need a different camera? Possibly just doing this might help. So I'm using only 5 strings, which, since, how to put it, I cannot set my first string to be channel 1 for a very simple reason, is that the channel selection is locked, is from 1 to 16, within 1 to 16. So you can go higher, but you cannot go lower or around. So because the system is designed for 6 strings, okay, assumes that my top string, the treble, my 6th string, is channel 1, because I said that my lowest channel is channel 1. Even if I tell the system, oh, my lowest string I wanted to have on channel 2, I would assign channel 2 to the string I don't have, to the 6th string, not to the 2nd string, because technically my treble here is a 2nd string from a 6-string bass. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the only way to have it, having the 2nd string playing channel 1, would be if I could work around and make a string 1 be channel 16.
Or 0.
Because it only go, or 0. But in the MIDI implementation, there never was a channel 0. And this system cannot understand 16 then 1. It only can understand going higher in number. Yeah. So I can make my first string, the one that is not there, any channel from 1 to 11. But the string I do have is always going to be the next channel up. Okay, am I making any sense?
Oh yeah.
Making sense there? That's why even if I play down here, it's playing channel 2.
Yep.
Okay? So the higher string is channel 3, channel 4, 5, and 6. Although, I'm going to try it without showing, because I need to refresh myself. Yeah, no. Yeah, the succession is settled. You cannot randomly assign different alternate channels to different strings. So it's from the lowest you set up in global. 6 up. For the patch, I could set up my lowest to a different higher one. For instance, global now is channel 1. In this patch, I could tell that for this patch, my lowest is going to be channel 3. That means that the string I don't have would be channel 3, and the one I have, that would be channel 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Okay? That's why in the editor they still show you the string of channels you're using, and they give you the option to change the I'm looking for it and I can see it right now, but there is an option. Oh yeah, MIDI output. On MIDI output you can choose the channel, which is either the global or anything above the global. Cool. But this is without any splits, okay? And I haven't given any PC message to this channel, so I don't know if it's gonna go crazy with the splits. I'm gonna have a try. Create one split. I'm gonna do a fret split. I'm doing all of this in the, and probably that's why it's doing creepy stuff, because a lot of MIDI is coming to the.
It's cool if you had it set for finger picking. You could do like a pluck 2 strings at a time and get octaves and things like that. It'd be kind of fun.
I can do that set when it's set on pick.
Yeah.
Problem is these particular patches, and in these octaves, because if you look at the editor, for instance, channels 5 and 6, I already had to transpose up, so the notes it would play, they don't escape the audio range of the patch of the synth, as in they don't go subsonic. You see what I mean? Because this patch is not playing the actual frequency in the piano. I'm playing the note here.
Yeah, you normally don't play a synth at C0 or something like that.
Because it's a bass sound.
Yeah.
It's already playing it 1 octave lower than that you're playing it. That the key you're pressing. That's why it needs, and I didn't have time to do the other 3.
Yeah, because you'd be playing like C-2. Yeah.
Or -4. I mean, sorry, I am playing C0 or C1, but the frequency he is playing is C-2.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying is, okay, that's a lot of mistriggering. So in the editor, stop it. In the editor, I just created.
Is the sensitivity set too high? Is that why? What is that?
Could be. It's very likely could be. Well, this string. It hasn't disappeared because the patch is very slow. It's a little sluggish. So now if I go to the second split and I ask it for another program, which I'm gonna just select from the general MIDI options, and let's see what this software interprets. Let's do a read. Let's do I don't know, a clarinet.
Are you getting pretty much the same performance, whether it's the GR or this AxOn one, or is one faster than the other?
No. When it's properly set, the triggering is almost the same, if not better than the GR. Okay. But the problem is, I've been tweaking the GR for 3 years. I have been using the AxOn roughly 3 months. So I have not finished tweaking everything the proper way. I haven't spent enough time. So, okay, let me jump if I can, because now I need to remove this to explain this very quickly. And that's going to be the end of today. Share screen. Share screen, window, here, share.
The dog approves.
Great. Great. So now you can see that half of the fretboard is gone from the graphic. Okay? Because I'm in split number 2 instead of a split 1. That's the other half. Okay? Mm-hmm. But first, what I want to do is to define the fret split. Where will it happen? And for that, I can do it by, I think it's just by sliding this. Mm-hmm. There's probably some way to input a number, but you have the graphic. So everything in black is very nice. Yeah. Everything in black is going to be split 2, i.e. the second sound. Everything that you can see in brown is going to be the first split. So let's call it 12. I think this is 12, means that 13, any string beyond the 13th fret is going to have a different sound. And to define what the other sound is going to be and do, that's why you have this program, MSB, LSB, name of the program, volume, panorama, etc., etc. Because you're dealing with actually like 2 different keyboards, suddenly, okay? Just with a difference with that. So I put this in clarinet. The problem is I don't know if Halion is gonna understand at all the instructions. Yeah. So I'm gonna start playing the standard sound from the treble string, which is this sweeping lead. Okay. And now I'm gonna try what happens if I play above the 13th fret. So I go all the way up.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. So what it's telling me right now, that I haven't finished the patch, and possibly that Halion is not taking PC messages.
Yeah. So if you didn't define the other region, does it automatically just continue with whatever was in the previous thing?
Basically, if it's not there, you remove it, split 2, minus, sorry, wrong window, minus, which one you want to remove? It's split 2, okay. Wait, split 2, minus. Oh, merge splits with a split 1, yeah, okay. So removes the split 2.
Yeah. No,
although I haven't showed the double sound. So it didn't accept the second split either because the PC messages are blocked, or because it doesn't know what to do with that particular bank and number.
Well, now what I found with the AxOn 100, when I would do a string split or a fret split, and when you're editing a particular split, and you go up there and say, okay, this is your MSB or your USB, then I would go to the other part of the split, which they call the other split, and put a different bank, MSB, LSB in there. If I then go back and look at what I put in the first split, it's changed it to what I put in the second split. So basically it makes all the splits send the same thing. And I was trying to do both a string split and a fret split in it. And whatever the last thing, either GM instrument name or bank MSB LSB I put in there, all the ones I did before got changed to that.
Even when you play in real time?
Well, I didn't get around to playing it because when I'd program it, it would be basically every time I would change the instrument for a particular split, it would change the others to the same thing. It just
But
it was like you
my
could
point
change
is-
all four of them.
Yeah, but my point is, how do you know it changed it? Is it because you see the same program, same PC on the screen, or
Yeah,
because you have
on
the
the
same
screen.
sound on the fretboard?
On the screen. And see
And that's
what-
my point. If when that happens, have you tried to play a different zone?
Well, I was just thinking that I should probably try that, and
Because possibly it's just a display issue.
yeah, it could be. It could
It
be
can
like-
only display the latest sound you played, but in memory knows that it needs to change when you play a different note.
yeah. But
Because that's the way it's meant to happen. So
Also, is everything here
basically-
real time, or do you have to commit it to make the change?
I think you have to save it. You have to
Good
Save it.
question.
on mine you have to save it.
Okay.
Good question. Very likely. Shall we?
And what I would do is I would set one of them and then I would save it. And then I go back in to edit it again, and it made no difference. I even tried
You see-
powering the thing off and powering it on again to make sure that I could change the settings in the four splits.
But
And,
look at this. This one is different because I deleted that split, then I created it again, and it's already made the same change I did. It's put the
Yeah.
clarinet back there, so
Yeah.
it kept it somewhere.
Well, it just didn't erase it.
Exactly. It's like
But which is
So-
nothing wrong with that. But that's okay.
it's a very good question. Is it real time? As in, could I listen to the patch while I'm editing? So let's make it even easier. Let's go for. Sorry, saying wrong window. Let's go for common. So now I have. You see that the MIDI channels have all gone to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I have the same sound.
No, it hasn't changed. You have to.
It
You
didn't
have,
change
No
before.
clarinet.
you have to commit
No,
it.
no, no. It's not yet going to the clarinet, but it's still in split. Huh.
Yeah. Well, you
Because
have to save it.
I was testing that before, and it was changing instantly.
Ah.
Huh. How so? Okay, let's save it. That should be it.
Well, you don't want to. You don't want to.
Nope, it has not changed. Say it. Sorry, what were you saying? What were you saying? Or
You're still in.
Is-
You're still in. You're not in common string mode. Ah.
well, and that's when we start freaking out, basically. Because why is this doing? So let me load a different patch. Keep pressing. Let's get, yeah, these two. And let's load that one again. So what?
Ah.
No, it should be common and it's still in multi.
Yeah, nothing has changed. It's. Wait a minute. Do you have to
Something.
like go? Do you have to like go to global and save it or do something weird?
No, the patch saving is done here. This is the
I know,
the store to.
But it's not using that patch. It's still using the old one. Weird.
That's weird. Well,
does it get stuck? Do you have to like reload the plugin or the software?
Oh,
have to reboot.
Honestly, I have no clue.
Wow.
Because if I do this, get preset, you see everything changes.
Yeah.
To the point that it's going to the guitar.
But is it going at this point, or is it ready to go? Like you have to commit it.
Yeah, it's like it.
What do you mean? Have to
like,
commit it?
It's like you've
it's
got
already
it.
loaded.
It's ready, but you have to say now send it.
Yeah, that's a good point because the unit.
Because some things work that way. You have to do. They're not real time.
Yeah, but that's the get preset gets loaded here.
Yeah, but that's in the computer. It's not in the little box.
It hasn't sent it to the box yet.
No, these are the controls for the box. These are the controls for the computer. I'm not touching that. That goes straight to disk and moves nothing in the unit. But as you said, I'm changing patches. I'm loading different patches here, and the unit is not changing. Yeah. It's like it's lost.
And at no time do you have to go to the box and push OK or some kind of prompt or whatever.
So preset 1, get preset, but this is still in 6.
What's the button all the way that's under the StreamYard icon?
Save to disk. That saves the patch into the hard drive of the computer.
Okay. And you did store to preset, so that should. I'm assuming that.
I thought so.
I thought store to. Yeah, right there. Store to y dot.
I can do it again.
Yeah.
Unless I'm missing something. So yeah, you need to tell it where, which is already there.
Wait a minute.
Store to, that's the writing process.
What are your other options for the store to? You got 6.
No, there's no options. The placement, you have 127 placements.
Oh, preset 7.
127 slots where I could copy it to, or write it, or store it to.
Right. But
store to is just one button, one action, already the 3 times.
But like it's not storing it to the device.
No, it is. What the device is not doing is when I come here and change to a different patch 3, set get preset, see that everything changes?
Yeah.
Right? The unit doesn't.
I know. That's
the AxOn is the one that is stuck on patch 6.
Yeah.
It doesn't move to the other one.
Yeah,
so we need to investigate.
Yeah.
So real quick, do you guys have a short list of like famous guys who've used this and what song they use it on so we can hear them in action?
No.
Nope.
I don't. I mean, I knew that at one point Victor Boutin was using it here and there for recordings and live and was promoting it, but I could not name you any of.
What about for comparison? What are some famous GK or GR songs?
And that's the problem. That's why 6 Oscillators exist. There is none, right? Because
not even in magazines, though. I mean, when they wrote about this shit in magazines, they don't talk about the songs and.
No.
I mean, the best expression of the GR units I can point you to is Alex Hutchins from UK, which is the official developer, consultant, and I don't know how to call him. He's the GR guy for Roland. He's on the Roland.
Wasn't Stanley Jordan running his through a synclavier or something like that, and he was doing
synclavier, but never a GR.
Yeah.
Never a GR that I knew. The closest thing that I think it's true, but I have no fact, no data to show you. Iron Maiden in a 7-song album, for the live performances of the synthesizers, they were using a GR unit to get the second guitar player to play the synths from the guitar. And that's not even confirmed by the band. Not even they admit they did that. Because
it's like people are ashamed of it or something.
Yes.
No,
Why do you think I started the channel?
Yeah.
That's one. But even when they did work right, nobody really wanted it because it implies that you need to play to the unit. The unit doesn't adapt to you. You have to adapt to the unit.
Some things don't, and that's okay, right?
Yeah.
So.
Not for a guitar player who's already put more than 10,000 hours being the fastest gunslinger in the West. And suddenly that he has to get half of his technique and put it in the rubbish bin because the unit can't follow.
Well, you play a harpsichord, a lot of the nuance is gone. It's just a pluck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a keyboard player. Keyboard players are used to it.
No, but I mean not a piano player or a clavichord player. Clavichord had all those nuances. You know.
Not really.
It did.
Piano only has velocity and
clavichord had a version of like aftertouch with it. It's really interesting.
Oh, you could bend notes on a clavichord.
Yeah, it was really cool, but it was very quiet. Cool because you had to like hover.
I get.
Yeah.
And probably that's why the first two generations of synthesizers were addressed to organ players who had none of that.
Yeah.
They just on and off.
But they had also had the damn foot stuff too. The foot control is really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of the original synths you could put an expression to control.
No, I mean the actual foot pedal board where you have the notes.
And that's
crazy.
That's why Moog developed the Taurus.
Yeah, that's hard.
To give them that. But once again, piano players, expressive keyboard players, didn't accept keyboards until the late 80s. Before that, there were synth players or organ players that took on those things.
Well, I mean, even the forte piano, when it came out, was frowned upon. It's like, that's not a harpsichord. That's not a whatever. What is this shit?
It's too loud. But is it? So the problem is the industry, as in the public industry, the rock stars, never adopted this technology for many reasons.
Yeah.
Then you go to the bands supporting the pop stars, the singers, and you find tons of the guitar players having to trigger some type of synth or samples or textures from the guitar. And they do it, and they go down the GR unit. So the GR found his glass ceiling so far in the working class musician, in the cover band, Weekend Warriors, basically. They never crossed to the big stadiums and the big tours.
Does that GR group that's on Facebook, does that have a list of famous players and tracks to listen to or anything? Do they?
It's
terrible.
None of the two groups I'm in about GR55 ever mention about any famous player.
Yeah.
Because none of them do. None of them do.
Yeah.
Because famous players can hire synth players. They don't need to do them themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
There had to be some fun experimental guys that wanted to do it just because.
Experimentals, not rock stars.
That's us.
They experiment.
I mean? Us.
Rock stars experiment. Frank Zappa didn't experiment. Come on.
Not on
Once
stage,
again, Frank Zappa to any measure was an underdog, working class, experimental synth guy that happened to play guitar. For anybody following Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. That's why he hired fucking Steve Vai to play guitar.
Right.
Because he was a composer, not a guitar player.
Oh, he was a good guitar player, actually.
But
most of the
better
time,
than a guitar player.
He was a conductor more than anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. He was a writer more than a player.
Yeah.
And he was a very good player, on top of everything. Yeah. But that's why he got two of the best session guitar players in LA the minute he found them.
Yeah.
One was Steve Vai, but before the guy he had before him, I don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure he was as good, if not better, than Steve Vai.
Yeah.
That's why he keep surrounding himself with the best gunslingers in LA he could hire, because he had his limitations.
I wonder if Les Paul ever played with this stuff. Did Les Paul ever tinker around with some of this weird stuff?
I doubt
Never.
it. No.
Never.
No.
He experimented with with quadraphonic in a way, with different pickup to different
I heard about
amplifiers.
that. Yeah, I heard about that.
But never going all the way synth. The closest thing to going all the way synth was Pete Townsend from The Who, and he basically was using the LFOs and the filter, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And from the 25 and the 2600 he had, that was it.
No, wait a minute. What's his name? The jazz rock guy, guitar player.
But once again, jazz. You're not talking rock stars there.
I know. What was his?
Pat Metheny?
Well, yeah, Pat Metheny. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's wild.
Pat Metheny.
Yeah,
but once again, he's not a rock star.
Yeah, he's not a rock star.
He's not Van Halen. He's not Metallica. He's not Iron Maiden. He's not, for God's sake, it's not even Bruce Springsteen.
No.
Once again, rock stars.
I'm surprised though. Eddie was interesting and did play different instruments. I'm surprised he didn't play with some of this shit.
Never.
Because he loves synths and he loves guitar.
Yeah.
So.
But he had a very split mind. Synths comes from keys. Guitar comes from guitar.
Yeah.
Because different techniques, different brains. He never used, to my knowledge, never live. I don't know if he ever adventure testing one in the studio for one record.
Or like Devo, right? They did a lot of cool experimental stuff. I'm surprised they didn't do like.
And
more.
They still never attached the guitar to the synth.
Yeah, they put stuff on the guitar, like effects and stuff, but they didn't.
Effects. Once again, it's not the GR, it's the custom engine. It's the real time, just change your EQ on a very stupid, complex way type of editing, but not a synthesizer.
That's a shame. Those are the guys who should
Tell
be
me about
doing it.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. That's my own purpose, my only purpose. To make everybody understand that you can do this live.
Yeah, grab them and shake them.
Yeah, it just
get off my lawn.
It just kills me. There's enough people buying this gear like us that for them to make a living and producing this stuff, No,
but that's what I mean. You go to writers, you go to songwriters, you go to producers. Tons of them have things like that because a lot of them, their background, the instrument they mastered, is the guitar or the bass or both, but they still need to go into the DAW and write fast music.
But
they do it through.
The thing is, though, no one's going to shit on them for their abilities because they clearly are good players and make good music or whatever. So I'm surprised companies didn't approach them and say, "Hey, try some of this stuff. Do some of this stuff."
Well, they did.
It's not going to ruin your reputation.
I think they did. I mean,
Roland,
the first GR went to Jimmy Page.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had it for what, a week, and then put it in the closet.
Yeah, well, like
because he couldn't play fast enough.
Like his Art 2500 that they gave him.
Or clear enough. So let me put it this way: in 2026, the biggest manufacturer and seller of digital drum kits, electronic drum kits, drum synthesizers, if you wish, although by now they're all rumblers. Okay, Roland just had, they didn't want to, they had because the market shook them and kicked them in the balls to release a full shell drum kit in order to keep selling them, because the drummers that actually recording with their digital V drums cannot be seen on stage with a digital V drum. They need to show to the audience a full acoustic shell drum kit. 2026. Think about any year before that. And that's for drummers, which by now anybody understands that no drummer plays live because so many reasons. Acoustics, variety of the.
Well, Danny Carey plays live.
Even Danny Carey uses triggers here and there.
Yeah, it has to for certain sounds because they're not acoustic. But
the minute you don't use the acoustic sound of the shell, somehow, that's not acoustic kit anymore. And if you keep jumping, I mean, the most complex drum kit setup ever, Neil Peart's, was 50% V drums, hidden inside, I think, Tama or Son or any, the brand of the minute, shells so nobody could see that he was using actual synthesizers.
Yeah. Well, he loves synths anyway, so he wasn't against synths, so he wasn't.
He wasn't, but the people paying the tickets.
He had that MIDI xylophone controller thingy and all kinds of shit. So
But the people in the audience don't understand that a stick on a rubber mat can produce the sound of a car crash or a gong.
Well, I mean, you can only imagine when the first Simmons, hexapad showed up, or whatever, and people, what the fuck is that shit?
But that shit was pew pew pew.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Roland V drums are pretty cool.
I mean,
I have a TD-17 KVX. It's a cool kit.
In 2026, the audience is still don't understand that you can play samples as a jet plane that sounds like an actual jet plane by smashing a cymbal in a drum kit. They don't understand it. They don't get it. They don't like it. They
you
don't
can
want
play
it.
drum
They
pants and do
for
the
it.
same thing. Have it in your pants. So.
By the way, have you talking about pants, thingy pants? Have you seen the MIDI hand pants?
Yeah, I've been a bunch of them at NAMM and stuff. I've checked them out. They're really expensive, but they're cool.
Good. And have you seen the Roland version?
You sent me that link. I haven't seen those yet. I don't think they released that earlier this year. I think that was
It's out. It's out, and it's only $600.
No, but I don't think it was out in January. I didn't see a demo of it.
Sure.
So, yeah.
But
I love stuff like that.
In YouTube.
Yeah.
Check it. It's around 600. Full MIDI implementation, Bluetooth implementation. I think also Wi-Fi, sounds, the intensities. Basically, it's kind of the one that can almost replace the Korg wave drum.
Well, the A-frame already replaced the wave drum, in my opinion, but the wave drum is still very cool.
But the A-frame is $3,000.
No, it was $1,500 until it became rare as hell. But
this one is
$500. Yeah. But a real hand pan is like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for a fucking hand pan. They're crazy. They're expensive. I got a $500 version. So.
Because they're really hard to read. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it quits, guys.
All right. My dog is screaming.
Exactly. 10 minutes became an hour, as usual.
Yeah.
As you do.
It's fun.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I'll see you soon. I'll keep you posted. I really want to finish this thing, so I'm gonna start studying and try to make the next show, which will happen Friday the 7th of August 2026.
Also, I heard you earlier when I was driving around. When you edit the shows, be careful because the chat will disappear if you want to keep the chat.
I'm not going to remove the original. I'm just
That's
going to
fine.
create
people don't know that, and they go, "Hey, where's my chat?" And it's like, "Well, you make an edit, it's gone." So.
Yeah.
Today there wasn't one.
There wasn't much. I mean, it's mostly Paul in there.
Yeah,
I'm chatting with Paul a little bit.
It usually is.
Yeah, but the thing is, the sound was so bad that I think it's due because we said very significant things that in that show, and I don't want him to get lost.
Well, it's good to do if you can't do a meetup before the show starts to check mics like Ramsey does, then you do a real quick in the beginning or something. It's a good idea.
That's what we did this time, but you were late.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I missed part of that.
You missed it.
I was driving around. So.
It's okay, I understand.
But you have to do that. I mean, just like with any sound check, you have to do that. So.
Yeah. Cool, guys. See you very soon. Okay. Wait, if you want a post-show chat, but I don't think so.
No.
But yeah.
He's like, no, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, my dog's dying.
It's not.
No.
So yeah, let's chat here. Mr. Guitarful, thank you very much. We'll be in touch. I'll keep you posted. Right. Take care and play a lot. Mr. Synthetic, same thing to you. Thank you very much for coming, even if it's
fun.
Whenever you manage. It's all good. Better late than never, as I like to say.
Yeah, I'm glad I could make it.
Yeah, same thing. As I said, again, 7th of August, we'll be back with a little bit more and hopefully a little better and everything working finally. Or at least knowing why it doesn't work. Thank you very much. Take care.
Everybody.
Night. And to anybody of you watching afterwards, and who's doing all the... Oh my God, did I miss all the comments? No. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Unger Clones, because he could not come back, he decided to stay in the chat, which I appreciate. If you just discover us because you came to Cambridge and saw my demonstrations of all this gear and some other gear that actually works way better than what we proved tonight, please say hi. Leave a comment, say hi. That's enough just to know that you're there, that you're watching. And if you have any questions or any interest of any type of tech, of knowledge we might help you attain, please leave it down in the comments and we'll do our best to answer your question as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Good night. See you soon.